I haven't seen you since the plague.
Yahoo!
Jace was so happy.
Look, dude, I have been queer baited before. It will continue. It is a staple in the industry.
Right, queer baiting, but never queerness, right? That's the,
It's just the bait. Just the bait.
It's only bait. No switch, just bait.
No, well, no, all switch.
Yeah, all
no
switch.
No,
just a bait and switch, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know why we tried to fancy that up.
Trying to be all fancy. It's just, the lingo's already there for us. It's queer baiting. They queer bait us, and then they go, nope.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wonder if
the only kind of switch I don't like. Well,
Next Goal Wins says they've completed filming, which will be interesting now that Armie Hammer is listed as the star. Yeah, I wonder how they're going to play that one. Maybe they'll do a reverse Social Network and CGI someone's head on Armie Hammer's body.
Oh, so they'll just do an Army of the Dead.
Oh my god.
Explain.
The upcoming Zack Snyder Army of the Dead movie has Chris D'Elia in it. Except now it super doesn't.
Now
it got sent into the back room because of fucking grooming underage women.
Gross.
Awful shit. And so Zack Snyder said he won't be in the movie at all. We're going to use the movie magic to make him somebody else. So
that sounds cool.
Just like we got rid of Henry Cavill's mustache, we're going to get rid of an entire person.
So to be fair, that wasn't Zachy. That wasn't Zachy.
I know.
Yeah, good pull. Good pull.
The fear of somebody using technology good is that it will make people who aren't as good at using it think that they can also use it good. And so, yeah, who knows? But you look at the Army of the Dead poster, and Chris D'Elia's still on it. Not poster, sorry.
Well, they probably haven't. They haven't re-photoshopped it or whatever.
It's also like set photos, not the poster.
Right, so you get right. It was just a photo of a guy.
That's something. Some fucking dude.
The joke used to be that you put in Christopher Plummer for all of these problematic men, but now, unfortunately, R.I.P. King. Christopher Plummer cannot replicate his all the money in the world. I'm Kevin Spacey now sub in effect.
Wait, when did Christopher Plummer die?
Very recently, my friend.
What the fuck?
I'm so sorry to be the guy to do
God damn it.
I'm so sorry.
What an unfortunate way to learn something.
I'm so from me. You should never learn anything from me.
You. I just recording.
I know. Yeah, on mic. This is live. This is good podcast.
Like, wait, Christopher Plummer of Knives Out, and Beginning, and of The Sound of Music. What? Yeah,
I'm sorry.
February 5th. It was super recent.
Very recent, my friend. Very recent. The news gets to the Midwest late. The Pony Express has not arrived with that news.
Go to hell.
I'm sorry, I love you.
Internet power in Middle America, don't you know, Caleb?
Don't you know?
You don't have data caps because
Christopher Plummer is still alive in Kansas. They don't. Nobody tell them.
Jesus Christ is still alive in Kansas, Kevin. I don't think what you say.
Donald Trump is still president in Kansas.
They still use MySpace.
Beautiful. Now, not to delay talking about Community any further, but as I've spent the afternoon helping Jace get into the X-Men by goading them with incredible X-Men fashions as a sort of like a steak on a fishing hook, just like.
Kev, I saw you post pictures in the chat, and I just waited. I wanted to say something, but I just waited because I was like, Jace is going to see this? And when they do, they're going to lose their fucking mind. And sure enough, Jace's first words are like, what the fuck? I'm so excited about it. I love it.
My long play.
I was
year of trying to get Jace into the X-Men.
Doing my job. The thing that pays my bill.
Yeah, same.
And you had the audacity to say, "Hey,
Audacity.
check out this fashion sketch of Storm. Not a comic drawing of Storm. A fashion. Oof.
Here's the reason why the X-Men are the greatest comic book franchise of them all, is that the next X-Men crossover event coming to us this summer is a fucking gala. Is a fucking ball.
They're having a ball. God.
They're having a ball. That's why the X-Men will never be beat by anyone, because instead of it being like, the universes are colliding, it's like,
the other thing is
they're gonna have a big party.
The thing is, with X-Men though, you can never run out of material, and that's what's
Because
also
there's
so
an
exciting.
infinity characters.
You're just
So
like,
if
there's so many, and they're all in the same family. It doesn't feel like forced. Like, oh, we got to come up with all these different backstories and this and that, and
No.
they can literally just be like, there's a mutant gene, and that's it. They don't need to come up with all this. And I mean, you've also
it's
got,
much
like,
harder to add someone to the Fantastic Four, right? It's much harder
yeah.
to add someone in there.
even like a new Avenger, right? That's like,
That's a big deal.
that's a big deal.
That's
to
a big
be
deal.
you get added to an event. It's like, whoa, okay,
Aye.
I'm even thinking like, even in Inhumans, it's like, oh yes, there's like, you've got powers, but like, you gotta
go through this whole thing where you get gassed and then exposed, and you're in a
you
chrysalis
might
for a
die.
while. Yeah. And that doesn't pan out. But the X-Men, it's like, oh, we found a new guy. And then it's like, oh, cool, welcome to the guy.
A new mutant was born.
Welcome to the guys. How are you visually distinct from everyone else? Just an incredible array. All the fucking silhouettes are so beautiful when you see them like lined up together. You're like, oh.
I want to know what Beak is wearing to this gala. I need to know.
It's been a minute since we've seen Beak, but I'm sure Beak is invited. I'm sure Beak.
I would love to even just get like a Beak cameo, like in,
Please.
one of the artists is just painstakingly drawing a bunch of recognizable characters in the background of one panel, and they're gonna do some 2-page spread. They have to do a 2-page spread of just a million fucking
of just a million fashions. Oh god,
they need to. That would be amazing. It probably those 2 pages alone would probably take the entire month.
Yeah, that's what it.
Planning.
Right.
But like, they're gonna be like, "Hi, this issue took an extra half a month just because of this one spread right here in the middle." But like, you got just sneak a little Beak in there. Sneak a Beak. Come on.
Oh, come on. Right. I love the X-Men. But Daddy Host, I was listening to a podcast of yours the other day, and you were talking to a guest about Blaseball, and then the two of you started talking about wrestling, which I don't know if it's come up on this particular podcast, but I know a little bit about the sport of wrestling. I was
about like performance wrestling or like
wrestling,
wrestling,
like
Olympic
WWE,
wrestling,
not
or like,
not Greco-Roman.
Not reputable wrestling.
Yeah, no.
That's kind of a negative connotation, but no, we were talking.
You're talking about like glow wrestling, the good wrestling.
Yeah, I'm talking about wrestling with an A. Wrestling.
Yeah,
Talking about real
wrestling.
superheroes, right?
Exactly. The pageantry, the fucking showmanship, the storytelling, the athleticism. Wrestling's fucking got it all. But you and your guest were talking about wrestling terminology, and specifically referred to kayfabe. And we're wondering about the origins of that term. So for anyone out there that isn't deep on wrestling, kayfabe refers to essentially the story reality that you are in. So every wrestler that you see is playing some version of a character. And sometimes it's very close to who they are, or sometimes it's a complete, sometimes you're playing The Undertaker, which is like an undead Old West, funeral parlor director.
And he's so fucking cool.
He's so fucking
Funeral parlor director.
He's so fucking cool. And anyway, you playing these like outsized, larger than life characters. Kayfabe refers to essentially maintaining that character. And it used to be very strict. So it's like, okay, if you are a WWE wrestler, if you are in public, you are in character. If you're Ric Flair, and you want to have like a nice dinner with your family, that's okay. But if someone comes up to you and is like, "Hi, Ric Flair," you have to give them Ric fucking Flair. You can't just be, Mark. You have to give them Rick. And that is the reality. And you were talking about where does the term come from? And of course, it's like, it's hard to gauge exactly where, because nobody fucking wrote it down. But
yeah, and also I Googled it, and Google's like, don't know, bro.
Don't know. But
It's a
we
thing.
do know it comes from
The
Carney
internet
speak.
really does work slower in the Midwest.
No.
No, I mean, like
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No, it was very
true.
good.
No, it's a
It
good
was
good
very
callback.
Yeah.
But the true
High five.
origin is that all wrestling terminology comes from Carney speak. It's all the same use of terminology. Mark, shoot, spot, heel, face, like all these terms come from the wrestling, like this version, Wrassling's origins as part of like circus performance and the carnival going town to town. So like a mark, which is referred to as like your target, is which is taken on a different meaning in wrestling terms. But a mark in carnival talk is like, oh, this guy I can get to blow $100 on my little booth with the rings that you throw. This is the guy. That's your mark. And shit heel and babyface are pretty good. You're bad guy, you're good guy, and all these other terms. And anyway, if there's two things I like sharing, it's X-Men and Wrasslin. So I took this excuse for a little Wrasslin education.
Yeah, I love it. I had no idea those came from Carney glossary, but like that's incredible.
Yeah, because wrestling has the same. You know how like you listen to like comics talk, and comics will be like, yeah, I'm on the road, but like I always feel cheesy like going to the table and selling my t-shirts, or like, selling shit with like a catchphrase on it. Wrestling is the exact opposite mentality. At all times, be selling a t-shirt. When you are in the ring, you are trying to get people to buy your t-shirt.
Always be selling. Always be closing.
Always be selling.
It's so funny. I mean, it is in a form. It is very much like drag, right? You've got a character,
100%.
you've got a costume, you've got a storyline you play with that may or may not
entrance
be true. If you're
music
out in public in costume specifically, and what?
Entrance music, like the pageantry of it is so important.
I mean, it's all very pageantry, but still, like, even that within, and not all drag is like this, but within its commercially mainstream perspective, specifically if we're referring to what RuPaul has done for drag, like the commercialization of drag. I'm not talking about like the drag community that like I'm a part of, and like where it's a little bit more like freaky, grungy, just like performance art nonsense, gender fuckery. But like, there's an aspect of it where it's like, no, it's your brand. Your character is a brand, and you have to sell. It's the reason why John Cena is a meme. It's the reason why Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson isn't Dwayne Johnson, even though he hasn't been The Rock in how many decades?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you're naming two of the best fucking guys to ever do the damn thing. Like, they're
Right.
as far as like reaching across culture, people that don't watch wrestling fucking know who John Cena is and know his whole deal, because he's been so good at getting that over, to use more wrestling terminology. He got his whole thing over. Hustle, loyalty, respect. The John Cena theme music. The fucking jean shorts. Like, it's all part of it. And everyone knows it. Because he got that shit over.
It's so wild. You know what? Tell me why my brain was like, oh my god, Guy Fieri is...
No, it's the same shit. It's
the same shit.
100%. It's the same shit.
You nail a brand and you say, you're going to associate this with me.
That's why Guy Fieri, I have nothing but respect for Guy Fieri in many ways. Like, he seems to be an all-around
amazing.
good guy. Yeah,
He's
exactly.
amazing.
He's in on the joke. Like, he's in on the whole thing. He's aware of it. But, like, everybody fucking knows who Guy Fieri is. You can identify him from 100 yards. He's immensely popular. It's the same tactic that got Macho Man Randy Savage or Hulk Hogan over. It's exactly the same shit. It's movie stars not as much nowadays, but it used to be like you were an easily identifiable quantity and persona, and you had a look, and you did this kind of movie, and it's all the same bag of tricks. It's all the same, like, we are going to, like,
I mean, it feels
pigeonhole
very
you.
vaudeville, you know? It feels like, this is my stick, and I'm taking it on the road. You
It's
know? And then
commedia
they
dell'arte. It's a fucking,
Ooh,
like,
get into the Italian.
yeah.
Get into it.
It's all
I
this,
love
yeah,
commedia.
like Columbina, you know, from fucking Commedia dell'arte. It's like, great, that's Carmella from the WWE. You know, like, it's
Right.
it's the same, like, archetype role that everyone's fucking pulling from. And it's
Yeah.
fucking effective. We humans just have this thing where we like to pigeonhole. We like labels, we like ideas, we like to know what something is. And
And that's
when
reinforced additionally as well. We've created structures that reinforce a positive association with those behaviors.
100%.
Sometimes to a fault, I must say.
Indeed.
But like, yeah, absolutely. You know, that's a whole part of it. I think, like, even, you know, going to school, like, for me, I went to school for musical theater, and I know the education system is shifting, hopefully. You know, we could always go faster, but, like, part of that, you know, even with just, like, in, like, acting aspects of, like, film and theater schools and stuff like that, you'll very frequently hear people refer to it as, like, you're a brand. You have to sell your brand, you know? It's about producing pieces that fit with what you associate with yourself, and, you know, this and that. And, like, honestly, in the pervasive sense of how that, like, carries over, I'm thinking of, like, post-Endgame.
Mhm.
Robert Downey Jr. did Dr. Dolittle. Was that what it was?
He did Dolittle. Now, that had been, like, kind of in the works and refilmed a few times, so that was kind of supposed to come out before all of that, but instead comes out, like, in the immediate wake
Right.
of that.
Yeah. And what it
But
ended
yes.
up doing is we all so deep, like, it is at the point now, you cannot say Robert Downey Jr. without people thinking Iron Man. You cannot. And you can't, the same goes vice versa. You can't think Iron Man without thinking Robert Downey Jr.
Even
They've become
more so in that direction, you know? Like, to most people, that is who that character is. Like, it doesn't matter the, like, decades of comic book history or whatever, that is who that character is. And I think the other actor that's accomplished the same thing is Chris Evans. Chris Evans is like, no, that's Captain America. That's who that, and he's honestly,
Well, that's
like,
also
they're
part
both
of
the
what
best
was
version of
done
those
so
characters that have ever existed. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. No, you're right, but that's also part of the brilliance of what Marvel's cinematic universe has done, is they've just really nailed, I mean, like, as complicated as it gets, like, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, iconic. Like, that is, there's an association there,
Totally.
you know what I mean?
Totally.
But I'm thinking of just when I
Dave
saw...
Batista, wrestler Dave Batista as Drax
oh my
the
God,
Destroyer.
speaking of wrestlers, yes, exactly. Dave Batista comes in and crushes it.
I think Chris Hemsworth is up there for me for, like, this is just who this character is now. And I think that was even more sold to me when there was a story he was telling where someone was like, you've got to stop playing Thor. And he was like, why? And they were like, because you're just going to be known as Thor. And he was like, why the fuck wouldn't I want that? Like,
Sure.
yes, that's awesome. I want to do that. So
the only
like,
difference with Chris for me is that Chris Hemsworth as
yeah,
Thor.
Jack
Hemsworth. Sorry. I understand that didn't make sense. I was referring to my good friend Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth is constantly interested in reinventing that character. Whereas I think Iron Man and Cap stayed more, not stagnant, but, like, more consistent. Whereas
They hit their
Hemsworth
stride
is, like,
and stayed in their lane.
constantly trying to reinvent that character. So it's a little more wishy-washy, because I also think he's been 3 different versions of that same guy.
Well, I mean, they've also been, I mean, not that the first 2 Thor movies are bad per se, because they're not bad.
They're interesting.
First one's
They're
great.
interesting. They're all right. They are on the scale of Marvel movies. They're toward the bottom, but even still, they're on the Marvel movie scale, right?
Shame on you.
What?
Wow.
The first Thor is great, and is in my.
Oh, the
top
first
10.
Thor is great. The first Thor
It's
is
in my
great.
top 10. It's in my top 10.
It's
Ooh.
your
It's
top 10?
directed-
Well,
directed by Chris-
that's only top 50% though. So
It's direct. You said the bottom of the bin.
yeah,
Like,
dude.
It's directed by Kenneth Branagh. It feels Shakespearean as fuck. Anthony Hopkins' performance as Odin when he like barks at fucking Loki was unscripted, which is
No,
why
it's-
Tom Hiddleston like
Look,
ugh, it's excellent. The first one's excellent. The second one, poop all over as much as you want. It's fine. I love that the Russos in Endgame made Thor: Dark World important again, so people would have to go back and watch it because everyone forgot about that movie. But the first one's great. I love
They
it.
did. They actually, like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I went back. I never saw the second one, and then Endgame.
But
made me go
Endgame's
back.
like, but it's important.
I was like, hey, check it out.
It's better than its reputation. I think it's I
It's
think
not bad.
it's.
I don't
hate it.
You know,
I
I
don't
mean,
hate it.
I can't remember if it's the first one or the second one where it's just Dutch angles the entire fucking movie.
First one.
It's the first one. I remember watching it being like, oh my god.
Oh
You
my
know, and
God.
not in a like a do the right thing kind of like Dutch angles everywhere,
Where it's like
very
incredible, where
clearly
it's like a
character.
masterpiece of filmmaking. Yeah.
It's like, well, this is just such a distinct like aesthetic and style, and it feels very '90s, in your face, jagged, angled, like all this. It was just like Dutch. It was, it was like, what's going on? It was
For
like
sure.
we feel unbalanced. I was like, I got that. We need to lean into. Regardless, I've been trying to get into the fact. Basically, what I've been trying to say is I didn't know about the Doolittle drama. We're going back to this. And so when I saw the first ad for Doolittle in theaters,
Yes.
after I had seen Endgame, they had a really really unfortunate marketing decision and maybe it was on purpose, but in the trailers. And the thing is, they go through the whole thing and they went Robert Downey Jr. and then of course they cut to some sort of scene and then it cuts back to is. Then it cuts to some scene, and it's it's one of those things where it's there's going to be a punchline, right? And I cannot see that and not go Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Like it's how he ended the first movie, the third movie, and the entire Infinity Saga. Like it is his catchphrase basically. I am Iron Man, right? It's or not even a catchphrase as much as just like a thing that we associate. So I'm saying he is Doolittle. I was like, wait. It just totally threw me. You know what I'm talking about? But that also
No, I
plays
do know
with
what
the
you
idea, like, we associate so deeply these actors with these roles and the things that they do that it takes it takes a conscientious decision to release something to say, hey, let me get out of this rut. It's
Right. Like the Star Trek actors.
It's Daniel Radcliffe leaving Harry Potter and being like, now I'm gonna do the weirdest shit you've ever seen. So
Sure.
that you
him
stop
and
thinking
him and the Twilight guys, right? Pattinson and Stewart did the same thing. That they're like, we're going to basically save independent art cinema. We're gonna the three of us work together to save
Daniel
indie
Radcliffe
cinema.
was like, I'm gonna do a production of Equus live on stage, and then I'm gonna film Swiss Army Man, and nobody can fucking touch me. And you're just like, great, I love this for you. I love
Absolutely.
this for you.
King. Yeah, I love it. Actually, okay, can I apply the wrestling terminology that I was referring earlier to Community? Because now I'm
Always.
sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and Community does a lot of the same good shit that professional wrestlers do. May I? So
please.
so I am sitting here and I'm drinking an Arnold Palmer with gin out of a Troy and Abed in the morning mug. And I'm sitting here and thinking about, like, everyone who's ever watched Community can go, like, Troy and Abed in the morning, and they can apply it to an infinite, like, number of situations, like Troy and Abed shooting lava, Troy and Abed, all these other iterations. And that is exactly the same fucking tactic that wrestlers use to get their catchphrases over. Like how The Miz has taken the word awesome and this one delivery of the word awesome. And it's like, I didn't know you could own a word, but he's done it now. The same way that, like, Hulk Hogan, like, people that have never watched wrestling know that Hulk Hogan goes, brother, because he took this idea and fucking punched it and hit it and made it stick with you. And so, like, the Community with, like, the Dean and Chang leap to mind, not just because they're, like, big, colorful characters, but they have, like, definable catchphrases and stereotypes and pattern. Like, these patterns are the same fucking reason that people still know who Macho Man Randy Savage is when he's been dead for decades. And most people maybe know him from
immediately
Spider-Man
thought of-
1,
Right. I just immediately thought of Friends. Just Chandler. Could you be more, anything with that emphasis on the...
Chandler got that shit over so hard that for 10 years, sitcoms wanted to sound like fucking Chandler. And in these episodes we're about to talk about, Jeff Winger is doing a fucking Chandler impression so hard. It's so distracting to me, even though...
Can I say...
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, can I say what I'm sure is an unpopular opinion about these 2 episodes we're about to talk about?
Oh, I would love for you to do that.
I actively really like these 2 episodes.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Okay. Oh, great. Okay, good.
Comes in like about to say some weird shit and then says something.
For some reason, I just like these ones. They make me happy, especially the first one we're going to talk about.
Yeah, one of them I like a lot. The other one I have some significant issues with, but is not like the worst this season has to offer, I will say.
I think the first one is actually my new favorite of this season. Oh my gosh! Wait, you also... I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just remembered that you told us at one point that you have some fascinating math to share with us about rankings.
Yeah, well, not about rankings, but fascinating math about Community. That will actually work very well with this first episode. But first... This is, of course, Advanced Community Studies podcast where we watch and talk about the American television comedy show Community 1 or 2 episodes at a time. We are also the premier podcast of the Yahoo Screen Podcasting Network.
Yahoo!
And with that, you are helping me get this over. We're doing wrestling shit all the time, and we just don't even know it.
There we go.
I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and I ate a hamburger, and now I'm not cold all the time.
I love that one so much. Hey everybody, how you doing? What's up? I guess I'm Vance now. Just saying 3 different intros for myself. Is it Vance? Is that his name? Vince?
It's Vaughn.
What was it?
Hey, Vaughn. Hi, how are you?
I was like, hey everybody, what's up? How you doing? I'm Jace. I use they them pronouns and hold on 1 second. Sorry, routine light switch check.
I'm the third host, the daddy host, the hostess with the mostest kids. And I've got radio buttons now. I'm the best. I've got radio buttons. And I'm in Greendale, stuck in the body of a man who could be Gollum's shadow. So yeah, I'd say it's half past suck.
It could be Gollum's shadow. Oh, fuck me, dude. Excellent.
With D and Annie, I just have to get that out of the way so we'll get to it later. But
there's so much to talk about. But to do a little social media touch-in just real quick, the result of a poll I staged after last week's episode is Community's Puppet episode a hidden gem or an actual crime. 46% of you say hidden gem, which means 54% of you think it is a criminal crime. Thank you for that's democracy at work. And also,
I like those results. This pleases me.
Good. And also for everyone that was on Twitter yesterday, where I was on my short-term 12 kick on our podcast account, where I was just trying to get everyone to watch short-term 12, and I did offer to Venmo people $4 to rent short-term 12, and did send several people $4 to watch.
Oh my god, I love that.
I'm glad everybody had a good time. I just love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the last decade, and I hope if you took my $4 that you did rent Short Term 12 and that you enjoyed it.
Not some other movie.
Yeah, not some.
I have only been given money by somebody to watch a movie once, and it was my friend who gave me $6 to rent Tenet so I could finally watch it, so he could finally talk to me about it. And I checked it out. I may have shared this story, so if I have, cut me off.
I don't think so.
So we rented it from Xbox, and that night, my daughter just did not want to go to bed. So by the time we got to sit down, it was like 9:30, and the movie's 2.5 hours long. No. My wife looked at me and was like, "Please no." I was like, "We'll just find another night. It's fine. We've got it for 2 weeks." Fast forward 14 days, we finally get a chance to sit down and watch it. I'm like, it's only been a week, right? Because time is just a muddled puddle of slop right now. And I look at it, like we go to it and have to rent it again because we checked it out at 8 o'clock and we finally sat down to watch it on a Saturday night with no kids because they were at the in-laws at 8:30. So it had literally just expired.
That's half past suck.
So
exactly, literally.
We rent it again.
Was it any good?
I liked it a lot. But it's also a movie that's I think. Ooh, I just threw my mouse. Sorry, buddy. It's also a movie that I personally think is better when you can pause it and rewind it and watch a thing again. Because, like, in a movie theater, that movie had to just be frustratingly confusing. It's about fucking time travel, right? Like, there's a really great time travel movie called Primer. That movie's good because when things happen, I could pause it and go, hold on, let me think about this.
Shane Carruth, what are you doing, man?
Wait, what are you on?
What's going on, Shane?
This movie is very much that. Like, there's one specific moment, I won't spoil it, where if you know this movie, if you've seen this movie, there's one moment where everything starts to go, oh shit, this is what's been happening. And being able to pause that, because my wife absolutely didn't catch it, and rewind it, and then like talk about what happened earlier, so that when she saw it the next time, she could go, oh shit, was really cool. But yeah, that movie in a movie theater would have been a headache.
Bullet goes backwards. It's sick.
It's also like just the this is a complete sidetrack from what we were talking about, but I'll make it short because it's as short as you can make a reference to Christopher Nolan. Anything.
Just a short temporal pincer movement. Just like
a short temporal pincer.
It reminded of a quote from Clue. To make a long story short, and then everyone just screams at him, "Too late."
Too late.
Clue.
It's a very good. Tenet is okay. Here, I actually know how to make this short and sweet. Maybe gross, but still short and sweet. If Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is just Quentin Tarantino masturbating to the fact that he makes movies and he likes them, then Tenet is kind of that for Christopher Nolan, except I think he wanted other people to do the touching for him. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like
well, not even Christopher Nolan is a sexless being, right? He does not enjoy sex. He does not put it. He does not put it in his films.
His brother wrote Batman, Jace. Don't worry. Christopher Nolan's not the reason Batman's got sexual tension in it. It's his brother.
Yeah, exactly. And like, okay, barely. It's like an alien's idea of sexual tension. It's so wild.
I was being incredibly ironic in saying, "Have you seen Batman?"
It's so wild, dude.
But Tenet feels like it was the movie that Christopher Nolan made positive that everybody would want to kiss him below the belt afterwards.
I get you.
I don't know if it worked that well in his favor.
It absolutely didn't. I think you're right. It didn't at all.
Because I remember when that movie came out, right? There were a few people that were like, "Yeah, Tenet," and I was like, "Okay, cool." Naturally, there's going to be the Nolan fanboys. They're gonna be freaking out, regardless of how good the movie is.
Sure.
Because that's just what Nolan fans do. And then almost everything else I heard was people being like, "Okay, literally cannot hear or understand."
That's a subtitles movie. That's a subtitles movie, you know?
It's a subtitles movie. And, and his response is, well, I made it so that, you're not supposed to hear what everybody's saying all the time. And it's like, sometimes that is clear that that's the intentional choice that you were doing. Other times, it's not clear. And sometimes, when it is clear, you're still like, okay, but I'm actually missing really important information because it's so muffled and behind and all this stuff.
This might be the one critique about this movie I completely disagree on.
Really?
Yeah, when those scenes happened, because I'd heard people say sometimes it's hard to hear what people are saying. And so I went into it looking for it. Like, where is it this scene? Is it this scene? When it did happen, I realized all the information that person's giving you in that moment's entirely unimportant. Entirely unimportant. but he makes it seem like it's important, and that like I don't know, for some reason it worked. The idea that like this guy's getting important information for right now, but it's information you've literally already heard, or it's information you're going to hear later with the clarity of whatever thread of time you're actually following. But right now, this isn't important. What's important is
The one clip I saw in reference to it was people wearing like face masks and they're on like a boat.
Sounds like a Nolan movie. I haven't seen Tenet, but if you were to ask me what I think is going to be in Tenet, that would probably be it.
yeah, it's all Tom Hardy being. Do you really feel in charge?
Man, Tom goes so hard in that movie because he knows he can't use his face, so he does a lot of like body acting and like voice acting. I think Tom's good in that movie.
A lot of eyebrow acting. I think Bane's great, but it's what everybody likes to bitch about. And maybe I'm just the Joker this episode, Kevin. Maybe I'm taking it from you. I'm that guy this time.
I had mixed feelings about Bane. Honestly, partially because I'm like, why is Bane a white dude?
No, yeah, that's
a good point.
Why does this does not make sense?
My biggest and only beef is like, why is he not in a luchador mask? Why is he not?
Why is he not a luchador? Why the please?
Dave Bautista,
beyond good criticism,
Bautista,
right? Like that's pretty damning. Yeah, absolutely.
This was before Dave Bautista.
I'm saying this now. If they do make a sequel with Battinson, I don't even know if the new Batman's gonna be any good. I'm hoping for it. We'll see.
It's gonna be great.
It's Reeves, you know. Reeves makes good movies.
Like what we've seen so far with uncut, just brutal, just like bang, 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 without like 1,010,000 cuts per second, and you don't know what's going on. It's gonna be great.
Focused on him being a detective, and that's all I want.
Yes.
Also, he absolutely kills that dude who questions who he is, which is great. And also, he answers "I am vengeance," which is some Kevin Conroy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Colin Farrell is unrecognizable as Penguin, and that's gonna be fucking great.
It's gonna be so sick. But all I'm saying is, if they end up doing a sequel of
Paul Dano, the most punchable man, is Riddler. It's gonna be
the world's most punchable man, as the world's most punchable character.
And they want Bane in it. Like, please put Dave Bautista in there, because holy shit, that would be perfect.
Oh, Big Dave. Big Dave.
I'd also be fine with Edgar. I'd also be fine with Edgar Ramirez. He's great.
Sure.
I don't know who that is.
He was in the Remender movie, Remender comic made movie, Last Days of American Crime. He's also in the Bourne Ultimatum. He's in Gold. That Matt McConaughey movie about Gold. I don't know.
Bad at this.
I don't know what you've seen. It's like a puzzle, and I'm
nothing.
bad at it.
I didn't grow up watching a lot of movies. I've always loved movies.
These movies came up like last year.
It doesn't matter, my dude. It just
you never stop growing up. You never done growing up.
The culture of watching movies is just like something that I just, it wasn't something where it was like, what are the movies that are coming out and like, let's go see this. And like, I still don't know my directors that well. And I'm really actually kind of sad about it, because I'm at this point in my life where now I'm seeing a bunch of movies that have been recommended to me that I never would have really watched, just because I'm like, what is that title doesn't mean anything to me. And then watching them and then being like, I didn't know you could do this in a movie. Y'all, I watched 9 to 5 the other day.
Hell yeah,
seen
dog.
9 to 5?
Hell yeah.
With Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda,
and Lily Tomlin.
Oh my god, it is. First of all, it's amazing. Go
It's
watch
incredible.
it right now if you haven't seen it.
Right now, bye guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
But like, literally, like, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a moment there's a moment where they smoke weed, and then they have like fantasies about how they would like get back at their boss, and just the way that they break from reality in that movie caught me so far off guard. And I was like,
cinema.
I know, literally, it was one of those moments that made me go, fuck, this is what movies can do.
Yes,
and I was like,
that is.
And then and I've been watching so many, not so many because I'm still bad at watching movies, but like the number of films that I've seen within recent history where I've had moments where I'd be like, oh my god, that feeling is far too many, because I'm like, I feel like I've missed out on so much of this.
Because you're stepping out, and I'm not like, I like popcorn cinema as much as the next guy, you know. But once you start getting out into this world, and then you're like, oh, holy shit! Like, look at what is possible out here. And that's honestly kind of why, like, after a lot of these like Marvel projects, I'm like, that's okay. I've just like seen somebody else stick this landing. You know, I've seen somebody else like take this idea and run it to like the fucking 100-yard line. And that's not knocking anyone or any particular thing. It's just you're like, oh, holy shit. Like, look at what can happen out here in this world. It's wonderful, and I hope you get to keep experiencing it.
Like, I would just watch. Like, I would like read plays and go see plays, and you know, a lot of musicals, honestly. But
and
like,
plays can do that same shit. You know, plays can like fucking
do it in a much more direct, like in your. It's a different kind of like. There's almost an expectation in certain. Like, if you're going to see realism, you're going to see realism, right? But with plays, I mean, there's just like. It's like
I remember like thinking I knew what plays were, and then I saw like Noises Off, and then it just like my brain changed. I was like look at what is possible in the media. Look at what can and Noises Off is like a fucking farce. It's like a British slamming doors farce.
It is, just like die laughing funny.
It's so good. If anyone has a chance, like, if Noises Off is, like, playing at a theater near you...
They did make a film adaptation of Noises Off.
I don't want to see that movie.
Because
it can't hit the same way.
Thing.
You can't flip the set. You can't have, like... It's... When you're watching a play... and an actor, like, drops something from a top floor and somebody else, like, grabs it while, like, looking behind the, you know, like, and it just, like, you're watching a perfectly timed and executed farce on stage. It cannot be replicated on screen because it's happening in the room with you.
It is elements of circus, that suspense of, like, holy shit, like, are they about to, like, acrobatics and, like...
Yes.
It's insane because there's no we'll fix it in post. There's no we've got multiple takes. It's a one shot, go top to bottom, don't fuck up or the show doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's insane. It is insane. It was like that. I'm even thinking of like fun moments of like Rent. Right, which even does like fun stuff in the original staging of it. Right, you see in the movie where they're like, "Hey, throw the key at the beginning. Throw the key down," and he throws it, and there's a couple different shots, and he misses the key, and he goes to grab it and does this, whatever. But they literally, I've seen different ways where they do it, where they literally have a set piece where they come up and they drop it down, and someone catches it from an elevated plane. Very cool to watch that height dynamic in real time. I've also seen moments where someone holds it over the pit and they drop the keys down into the pit, and then they fall into the hands on the other side of the stage, like because just like the way that they play with space is a totally different thing because you're not restricted by lens, you're restricted by imagination. It's fucking great.
And you can also do like, and obviously you can do the lens in so many like interesting fucking fascinating ways, you know? It's just about, and you know, hey, a good executed CGI effect is good, you know, like it, but there is something to, like you're watching an old Buster Keaton movie and he's standing on the ground and the wall of a house falls down around him and he's perfectly in the window and you're like, woo! I know they couldn't fake that. They dropped a fucking house on this fool.
Yeah.
There's like this little bit of like film history that I learned recently where it used to be before they would put little small explosives in the wall
to simulate a gunshot.
To simulate a gunshot, they would hire a sharpshooter.
Yes.
And they would literally fire live rounds right
next. The same thing? What is this from?
I think it was on TikTok, honestly.
Maybe. Because they show that video of that guy holding a Thompson shooting a wall at somebody, right? They're shooting at a wall someone's behind. And they shot it, and it got really close, and the guy was like, I'm never doing this again. Fuck this. Right? Yeah. And that was like the beginning of like the unionization or something like that. Or like something major in like the change in film history. And I'm like,
That's crazy.
They shot real fucking guns.
They almost killed the motherfucker.
All of those people. Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't want anybody to misconstrue what we're saying. That was bad.
Oh my god. Or even, I mean, if you watch the series on Disney Plus, the Marvel 6. Gillian directed one of the episodes.
Oh, Marvel
I
616.
didn't watch Earth 616.
Or whatever it was, Marvel 616. Yeah,
Marvel 616.
I haven't finished it. There's a couple episodes. There's one where they talk about the Japanese Spider-Man series.
Yeah, that's the first episode. It's pretty cool.
And they literally talk about how they got this stuntman who just like free climbed, like they had little tricks, but like so much of what he's doing is stuff that would never fly today.
No, absolutely not.
So dangerous. And they were just like, yeah, just do it. And he was like, okay, I guess I'm going to climb up this massive building.
Hitchcock did shit like that too.
Oh,
Like that-
100%.
Like
I
that
also
scene-
am
that
realizing
scene
I
with the
haven't
bird
seen nearly
where
enough
she's
Hitchcock.
in the attic and the birds fly in the window and she can't get the door open. She was supposed to act like she couldn't get the door open. And before the scene started, Hitchcock actually locked the fucking door on the other side.
Fucking
So when she
cock.
starts panicking because she can't get it open and these birds are coming in, it's because the door is fucking locked and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I hate
And,
when
they,
fucking
and then they had
directors
somebody flip
do
the
that
lock.
shit.
Like, good job, jackass. You're an asshole.
It's
Yeah, it's
like
so fucked up.
Tarantino in Kill Bill with Uma Thurman.
Ugh. Sure.
Or was it Pulp Fiction with Uma Thurman, the one?
It was.
There's one of them where he like put her in a car that flipped. Or something like that.
I think that was Kill Bill.
It
Oh,
was Kill Bill, and she was furious.
It fucked up her knees and like her ankles. Like she got actually fucked up in a wreck and was like scared of him. It's not
Yeah.
good.
no, it's
And then
not
you
good.
have fun, and then you have fun versions of it, or like in Die Hard. Oh God,
Die Hard. Alan Rickman.
Rickman. I want to say Alan Riddick for some reason. Rickman at the end when he's hanging and he falls. They said they'd drop him on 3, and they dropped him on 2. So the scared on his face is real. Like, that's harmless.
So that's a
That's
harmless version of a shitty
you.
thing,
It's-
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Die Hard, like, so good.
I've never
Like,
seen it.
What a good film.
I've never seen it. Anytime they make references to Die Hard, also in this season specifically, they make a bunch of Die Hard
In
references.
these episodes, right? Specifically.
Well,
The Christmas
last
one
week's episode
specifically,
and this
yeah.
week.
Wait, what are this week's two?
Oh
episodes?
no, he does talk a lot about Die Hard. This is the body swap, and
Yeah, they go the rest.
yeah,
of
no,
the
you're right,
episode,
you're right,
And the
you're right. They
guy's like,
do.
I fucking hate Die Hard.
That guy's wrong. Abed's right to be mad at
Literally
him.
never seen it.
It's
Good.
just like treat yourself this Christmas. Just like treat your damn self.
Treat
And it-
yourself.
Treat your damn like so. There's this. Okay, we will get to Community, but so much of like this conversation about like classic film or like, you know, film history, too much of it gets bogged down in like, oh, this was important because blank, or oh, you know, this was the first time blank happened. It's like these classic movies became classic movies because they were fucking entertaining to watch. like Die Hard is not eating your fucking spinach. It's eating your fucking Cheerios. You're just like, oh yeah, give me the fucking Die Hard. It rules, you know? Anyway, sorry. That's another axe I grind continually. I love movies. I know I come off as a grouch, but I love movies.
Wait,
I
love movies?
really do love movies.
I love movies. I was watching one earlier today, and I was like, this is the good
What
shit.
were you watching?
I was watching Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. It's a Park
Literally,
Chan-wook.
where do you fucking find these, Kevin? Like, what?
Probably his Criterion Channel subscription.
Yeah, Criterion Channel. But like again, there's a misconception about the Criterion Channel that it's like
Fuck it with- yeah.
it's math homework, but like so much of the shit you watch on there, you're like, this is the craziest fucking good movie I've ever seen in my entire
Dude,
fucking life.
No lie. Go watch the Godzilla, the original Godzilla,
Hell yeah.
1954.
It's on
that's
HBO
in the
Max, right?
That's in the Criterion collection.
Yeah, they
Not
put
on
like 12
HBO,
Godzilla movies
they're
in the
different.
fucking Criterion collection. You
Well,
know,
here's-
like they're
Well, here's the thing though, the American Godzilla from 1954 and the Criterion collection version are wildly different because the American one got propagandized, and like
Right.
Godzilla is about the Americans bombing the shit out of Japan.
Right.
It's how the Japanese made something to commiserate.
Isn't Gojira literally just an atomic bomb?
No,
maybe?
I don't think so.
I thought that was just the lizard's name.
Yeah, it's just his name.
No, that's
I
what
thought that was
the
just-
lizard himself is basically just like a nuclear power
yeah.
plant.
No,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
that's the
with
point.
legs and scales.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
he was awoken off the coast from nuclear testing or whatever, and like, yeah, destroys. Yeah, yeah. But if you watch the Criterion Collection version, the original version of this movie, it's also deeply fucking sad because you realize exactly what they're talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Godzilla's incredibly fascinating. You should.
Yeah,
you should
it's like,
all
you
of
know,
them. Read about them. They're very good.
yeah, and there's, some, I'm not telling everyone when I say, like, hey, try different movies, I'm not telling you to watch, like, fucking Hiroshima Mona More. Like, that's not what I'm like, go watch these, like, dope-ass movies you've never heard of. And
That's the thing, is I don't know
enjoy
where, I've never heard of them, so I don't know where to find them. You know what I mean?
I can show you a world.
Literally, send me so many movie
I will.
titles.
I
Like-
will, and I gave y'all
what's
my
Nice
Criterion
Guys?
Yeah, I'm actually
login.
searching for your Criterion login right now.
I'll resend it. Yeah, I'll check shit out for you.
Have you watched
Anyway,
Nice Guys, Jace.
Have I watched what?
Nice Guys.
Nice Guys?
The Nice Guys is the most fucking entertaining movie of the last like
best-
10 years.
The-
It's so
the
fucking
best
good.
comedy of 2016 and maybe this decade.
It's a Shane Black movie, who you would know from Iron Man 3. And
Russell Crowe
it's Russell
and-
Crowe and Ryan Gosling in my favorite performance from each of those gentlemen.
David and Bomer, Matt Bomer.
Yeah, Matt Bomer from White Collar. What's her name? Kim Basinger. There's a cameo by Robert Downey Jr. as a dead body. It's just the craziest fucking 70s like buddy detective movie you've ever seen.
Is Robert Downey Jr. Sid Haddock?
He's Sid Shattuck.
He's so. Oh my god, that's amazing! I didn't
He's
realize that.
Sid Hatrack. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
No one's doing that, Rick.
Let's talk about Community, shall we? I'm sorry.
let's-
I love this conversation that we're having. It's joyous. But we should get to what's
ends.
happening here.
We should do the thing that we're supposed to do. Yeah.
One of us has to go like, okay, time to talk about Community. Season 4, Episode 11, Basic Human Anatomy, directed by Beth McCarthy Miller, written by Academy Award winner Jim Rash. In this episode, when Troy's
Wait, Jim
devouring-
Rash wrote this one?
Hell yeah.
That's why
His
I love it so much.
his first and I think his only writing credit on the show. He directs some episodes in season 6, but I think this is his only like full writing credit.
So wait, I'm just now realizing that means that he wrote it with at least some intention of saying, I want to do a Jeff impersonation, so I'm writing a bit.
I mean, basically.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's super super cool. This is a great episode for all of our like major players. But in this episode, when Troy is too nervous to break up with Britta, he and Abed fake a body swap so that they can trade places. At the same time, the dean fakes a body swap with Jeff, and there's something about like a valedictorian status, but honestly, it's so brief that it's actually kind of hard to follow. But this is. I agree, Jace, with you earlier. This is probably the best episode of this season. I had not seen this in so long, but it's really funny. It has great performances by all the actors who are playing other actors on this show. Like Donald, Danny, and Jim are so fucking beautifully dialed in. You have like a good runner for Allison as well, where you continue this trend of Annie being attracted to dangerous, unavailable men, which is a good runner for her. And what struck me watching this was like, oh, the best episodes of this season are the ones that actually have like a good heart to them.
Yes.
Right? Because so much of the
Because
season
that's
just
what
feels like
Community's all
milk toast. It just feels like nothing. It's not super funny or super heartfelt. It's just kind of
service. It doesn't. They're like, let's try to emulate these characters versus let's play with the characters we have. You know what I mean?
And they actually like take this and run with it, much like Herstory of Dance, to a good, heartfelt conclusion. And I also think it's probably no coincidence that the two best episodes of this season are about Britta the Dean, Abed, and Troy. You know, like these characters have been
They're such
strong
good characters.
in a season that hasn't been particularly great. But these characters and these performers have been consistently very, very good.
I like this episode a lot. It's one of those things where it's, when I've watched in the past, I would watch season 4 and be like, yeah, it's fine. Almost like not even really registering that I felt that different, and then through this, we've been, using our critical eye, our critical lens, and I found myself racing because that's what I've done for most of these episodes. Being like making my when looking at it with a critical lens, I find myself getting tired of watching it a little bit more, just because I'm more critical and then I don't enjoy watching it as much, so then I get distracted easier. This episode, I found very quickly disarmed me, and I was just in it, and I was just watching this show that I like. Like, I remember coming down, literally watching the end of the episode, being like, oh, I really liked that. And the bumper making me laugh. I was like, oh my god,
oh, Community's awesome. Here.
Oh
my goodness.
It was just really great stuff. I think they nailed that kind of pastiche thing that they typically do. You know what I mean? It didn't feel a heavy-handed pastiche. It felt referential in a way that was still relevant. They were like the Body Swap movie. They listed up like 5 of them, and they make some niche joke about. I don't get the joke that they say when he tosses one out. One of the nurses out the way, and everyone's like, why that one? And Troy says something like, judge something. I don't know what the line is. Troy gives an explanation for why Abed tosses one of the Body Swap movies out of the way, and there's something about it that's just like, I immediately knew.
He said
I was like,
Judge Reinhold.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Judge Reinhold is an actor. I don't know what y'all would know Judge Reinhold best from. Arrested Development fans would know him as Judge Reinhold from Mock Trial with Judge Reinhold. He's in like Beverly Hills Cop and Gremlins and Fast Times. He's just kind of one of those 80s guys.
He's the dad to Tim Allen's ex in.
Yeah, he's the stepdad in the Santa Claus.
Stepdad in the Santa Claus movie.
That's right.
I'm familiar with those movies. I cannot visualize him.
That's
but
okay.
Anyway, why would that? Is he just like people don't?
I don't get the reference either. I have no idea why that.
It still landed to me. It just to me, it was like, yeah, Abed's got opinions about people in the film industry.
He doesn't and like Judge Reinhold.
He just doesn't like him. And
it was just like.
Yeah, and that tickled me for some reason. I just enjoyed it, but
the idea of hating like, Judge Reinhold is so funny because he's just kind of this guy. he's not like, and I like him. He's always like a charming performer, but he's not really like much of anything. So like hating Judge Reinhold is a very funny idea.
Enough where he can just without speaking throw the DVD across the room.
Just be like Judge Reinhold.
I mean, even down to the light switch bit of like routine light check. I mean, like little bits that feel very true to the tone of what makes the show so exciting. And there is something really heartbreaking about this episode as well. Right? Where you're like, I remember my biggest complaint going through it was like, damn, like Britta fully is way more calm in a situation than she really needs.
She's remarkably cool with this whole thing.
That's my only complaint is like, there is no way in hell Britta wouldn't be at least a little bit fucking like pissed. Be like, dude, for our anniversary, which I did forget about, so I'm not too connected to it, but for our anniversary, we went out on a date, but you sent your best friend instead of you to go on the date, and you had him break up with me.
I agree that she's remarkably cool with it. That, and maybe I'm being a little generous, that almost kind of works in favor of what they're doing, is that Britta is also, like, not as invested in this as she would like to be.
I mean, that does also retroactively make the entire rest of the season make more sense, because we've talked about it, we're like, we literally do not understand this relationship.
So here is some math for you. Because I was like, why between every single episode do I forget that Troya and Britta are dating? Why does that refuse to stick to my brain? Like, the sticky hand that's been used too many times, and now it's too dusty to stick to the window. Like, why is it
Just
not
came back
stick
from
with
boomers
me?
and my toys don't work anymore.
Exactly. And the answer sort of hit me out of the blue, and I cannot I cannot even tell you why. It is that they do not kiss one single time for their entire on-screen relationship. Troy and Britta share one kiss over the entire show, and it is in season 2 when they take an acting class together.
Yeah.
That is why they're often in bed together, but it feels like a sleep over. It doesn't feel like
when Troy and Abed are both in their PJs.
Yes, they're like sitting next to each other, but they're not even like playing with each other's hair. And I'm not saying you have to be like all over each other, but like
there's no semblance of any sort of physical affection there.
No, and that's why it won't
Not
stick
even an
with
implication.
me. Right. It's because they don't ever physically express their affection for each other. And I remember, I don't know if either of y'all
like avoid each other at times too. Like literally, I can think of more times when I've seen Troy be like, "I'm gonna go over here now." Which, excuse me, I've just seen an old friend. Like, like, it's yeah. I mean, I'm happy it's done, but
it makes me think if it's not just a result of the show being cagey about relationships, one, and two, like trying to illustrate that because the show is cagey about relationships, like most of the relationships that have been interpersonal in this show so far have also been largely secret. Like we go through an entire season before we find out that Troy and Britta have been having, or Jeff and Britta are having sex.
But
so like maybe that's a Britta thing, and she's like, I don't want it to fuck up the dynamic of the friends. So
okay, but we've literally seen Britta and Jeff bang it out on the fucking study room table. Like,
right, that wasn't around anybody, right? And we don't see Troy and Britta alone very much, but when we do see them together in the group, when they're in a relationship, they don't act like it.
And we're
she and
told...
Jeff also didn't act like it.
I mean, It feels like they came in and they're like, what are we going to do this season? And they're like, let's have Troy and Britta date. And they were like, okay, let's go with that. And they realized a few episodes in it wasn't working. So then they went, okay, they need to break up. And then that's the thing is, I am thankful that they did date because we got this episode out of it.
For sure.
And that's the silver lining for me. I mean, their whole relationship is basically non-existent, but the breakup is just delicious. I love it.
For sure. We're told they're like having sex, but there's nothing on screen that actually like, I know they're in bed together, but they express no intimacy or affection for each other. And I'm not asking for like a sex scene on Community.
No,
that's not something that they do, but like
we got more intimacy between Annie and Dean as Jeff.
Exactly. They expressed more actual like attraction to each other than we we have seen Jeff Winger Jeff has been on-screen intimate with Britta, Slater, guest star Catherine McPhee, Annie on occasion, that one kid's mom, like we have at the dean's secretary at the STD fair. Like we have seen Jeff all over several women. So I'm like, yes, of course, I understand Jeff Winger as like a sexual being. Troy goes on a date and does like end up banging a girl in a bathroom in one episode, but he never has any on-screen.
Always presented as more goofy, like him being like, I packed a shit ton of condoms, and you're like, implication of sex. Whereas you're like, sexy man.
He's actually having sex, and I'm not gonna go so like there is a continued problem with like black men not being allowed to show the same like romantic things on screen that white men are allowed to show. I don't know if I'm ready to like make that fucking accusation. But it is something that like that I notice, like watching this, I'm like, they never let Troy kiss anybody, and Donald Glover's as hot as Joel McHale. Like
Donald Glover is hotter than Joel McHale.
That's probably Yes, I agree. And and it is like kind of, problem is in quotes, but like it's a thing in modern media that I'm like, I feel like the only people that are having sex anymore are teens on TV shows. Like the only people that are banging are on Riverdale and Euphoria.
Nobody's fucking in real life anymore. There's COVID, Kevin.
There are people that fuck.
I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, I mean, like, this has been going on for years, right? But this feels like a weird thing. And I don't know if either of y'all remember this, but early on in this podcast, I brought forward that I thought Troy was, like, asexual or aromantic. And y'all, like, rebuked that, and I think, you were like, he enjoys butt stuff, etc. And I'm like, right. But I couldn't pin down exactly why I thought that. And it's just that, like, we never see him be intimate with anyone across this entire show, even when he's dating a main cast member. And in this episode, which I hadn't watched in like 8 years until like a week ago, when Troy is being Abed and using the lens of being Abed to speak his own truth to Jeff in the Lost and Found room, he's like, I don't understand why Troy would ever want to be in a relationship. And when he, through the lens of being Abed, is allowed to express his own actual, like, feelings in this scene, I'm like, and the show doesn't get, like, credit for portraying, like, an aromantic person, but I'm like, this feels like someone who is maybe asexual or aromantic. In this scene, and as we've seen, like, throughout this season. I don't know.
I mean, my theory, honestly, is, I think that's a really interesting analysis of that. I think also part of that could be credited to the fact that he is speaking through a lens of Abed. Therefore, he is kind of speaking to Abed, who decidedly could be in a relationship with probably anybody he wanted to, as we've seen, because he can just turn on this charm and everybody's, like, enamored with him, and you're like, what the hell is this? How did this happen?
Let's just face it, I'm pretty adorable.
Yeah. But he doesn't really have desires to be in formal relationships. And when we do see him in relationships, it's always like, oh my God, this is so fun. It's just like unexpected. So I think maybe there's a little bit of what you were saying. I think it also could be a little bit of that. But what I see it as genuinely is if you give Troy, who is arguably one of the arguably the funniest person on the show. That's my opinion.
I think that's true.
It's hard to really
pound
say.
Pound for pound, beat for beat, the funniest
and not to say that nobody else on the show is funny. Everybody's hysterical. He's just Troy the Wonder Boy, If they were to make Troy not only the funniest on the show, but also have this kind of innate kind of sex appeal, Jeff would no longer be the main character. So there's a structural necessity. You know what I mean? Because they're like, well, it's like, oh, the leading man, he's sexy and funny. And the second you give the funny guy and you make him sexy too, it messes with the trope. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And this show thrives on pointing out, playing with, and then ultimately kind of flipping tropes. Yes. And the thing is, that's a trope that wouldn't be beneficial for the development of Troy's character. Do I want to see it? Yes, absolutely. But it would be a totally different show at that point. Mm-hmm. Because then it would be like, I just want to follow Troy around all the time. Instead of having it, Jeff's at the head of the table. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do. I get it.
It could also very easily veer into, like, Troy's on one of his other, sexcapades or whatever. It becomes a different show. Which I would love to see, but still, it does come across a little bit as, like, especially as he gets older too. It's like it's the performance of sexuality when he's younger. He's in high school and he's like, yeah, I fuck, whatever, and then he gets into college and he thinks about it a little bit more, and there's excitement around it, and it's not that he's into, and then. And then, of course, I mean, if we're playing whether or not we had debate as to whether or not this even made sense, but him not understanding anything about Pierce's kink room, mm-hmm. right? Just showing him not really being aware within that. I could see him being some sort of gray ace, a romantic sort of level Yeah, I could totally see that, the way that he's portrayed. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and
think
part
it's
of it's also
also-
no, go ahead.
My bad. I think it's also entirely possible that he's just a nerd.
He's a little dork. He doesn't
Also
fucking
that.
smash.
Yeah, like I think that like I knew this kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew this kid, and like they played sports and were cool, and people liked them, and they were fun, but they never really had a relationship ever because they just kind of didn't prioritize it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like they got to college and were like, "Ooh, relationships, yeah." And everyone they were in was kind of weird because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they like went and did their own shit and realized what they were, who they were, why they were, and then came back and are like sex symbols. Like it's not, it's a whole progression that like I've seen.
Not even to get
And
too
like
far-
that's very much what it feels like Troy does. Because once he goes off on this boat, yes, he doesn't come back to the show, but the Donald Glover that emerges after Community is wildly different than the Donald Glover that went into Community.
For sure.
And like, I don't know, it just kind of feels like that's what he did. You know what I mean? Like he was just
that
a
would
kid
be
that
fun
kind
for
of
them to
didn't
play
care.
with in a movie if he came back for the movie and was just like sex symbol Donald Glover.
He's
like, that would
This
be
Is
so
America
incredible.
Donald Glover.
Oh, God.
If
No,
they
but
find him on an island because he never made it on his boat trip and he's just wearing pants, no shirt, and his hair looks like that,
Yeah.
and that's the only reference to This Is America they do, that would be fine.
I'd be okay
That'd be
with
fine.
that.
But yeah, no,
No.
yeah.
I mean, they also, even as a character, he was raised Jehovah's Witness. That's fucking intense. That is intense.
For sure. That'll
And
fuck
so
you
I
up.
think there's also, probably an element of him being like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm still finding out who I am. Why would I want to? Like, Troy just wants to, like, watch TV and movies and play with his friends. And that's kind of his priority right now because he gets to do that with a sense of freedom he never had.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So like him
That's
tying
why-
himself up in a relationship just doesn't make sense.
yeah, that's why
He's like, "Fuck
when
it. I
when
want to play
he's-
with my friend."
yeah, that's why when he's being Abed also when he says like what was the line you brought up, Kevin? Where he's like, I don't even know why he would want to be in a relationship right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is what that means to me. It's
Sure.
I'm still figuring out who I am. I'm still playing games with my friend. He's not.
Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't. The idea of a relationship is not something he wants. There's clearly at least some desire there. Maybe not though. But like
This is 2 seasons later, showing that Troy on the night of his 21st birthday hasn't really grown up yet. He's still that guy
Yeah.
who's looking to other people to figure out what it means to be an adult. And he gets in a relationship, and he's so, oh shit, I don't want this.
right.
That he does a fucking body switch to like
Yeah.
to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
It does make him going off on the boat even more like this bitter
I was-
moment.
Just thinking that I'm like,
Like-
this actually works really well with the fact that 7 episodes from now he's
like,
getting
I
off
have
on a
to grow
boat to
up.
become a man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this actually works. Troy probably has the best arc of any character on the show.
Yep.
As
Troy's
far as
arc of
growth
this
and
show,
like where
to
he
me,
ends.
yeah. Troy's arc on this show is Thor's arc in Endgame
Sure.
in Avengers, going from
Sure.
the
They really
childish.
figured out what to do with Thor, like extra
He
stuff. Like
was.
they found they were like
They
oh,
figured
we
out
found the
let
sauce.
Chris be funny is what they figured.
Let
you
him
know?
be funny.
Basically.
Let him be
So
funny.
good.
But
Tight,
yeah,
yeah.
no, it's he has the best, tightest, most like easily like I can chart from the pilot to here, and it's messy like all television arcs, but like I can chart this character's journey over the last 4 and change seasons of TV.
Caleb, are you
Um,
sitting on a joke that you just like pushed off to the side for the benefit of flow?
Just Troy Barnes and how much he talks about his butt, and then Kev being like he's got the best, tightest. I just wanted to say butthole.
I did too.
Y'all nasty.
I just laughed and kept it to myself.
Okay, Kevin.
Shut the fuck up.
Y'all nasty. Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
You said he's got the best and tightest in
He's got
immediate
the
succession with
fucking.
each other.
He's got the
And then-
tightest,
and then you
cleanest,
left that. No, hold on.
fullest.
You left that pinless grenade in our hands, and we're like, "Have fun, fuckers!"
And both of us
tried
were
to
like,
walk past it.
And
We're
left
both over
to
here
your own.
fucking having an aneurysm. If this was an anime, I'd have the hollow plus sign on my forehead because I'm fucking. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're that meme of that kid with all the veins all over their face. Or you're that clip of Dragon Ball Z I posted on the Twitter account where it's like Vegeta like struggling. He's like, "Don't do it, don't say it." Yeah, that's exactly.
I
That's
still
exactly.
have not seen any Dragon Ball, and I know that that's like blasphemous.
It's too late. I have barely
late.
seen. It's too late. It's too late. You're not 8. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's not a bad show, but like, you're not 8.
No.
It's not gonna hit the same. It could never, and it's so long. It's so
There's
long.
so much. There's different iterations.
It's
like getting into One Piece that has like 300 episodes. Now.
I wouldn't even dream of.
Oh, 300 episodes, 900 episodes.
Okay,
like
okay.
There are
years,
over 1,000 chapters of the manga, and I am on 270 something. I've been reading.
Trying to do the whole thing.
Yeah, I've been reading since like October, just kind of like before bed. It's like a nice like little thing to do before bed. I'm on like 270. Yeah.
Okay, I swear you just said I've been breeding before bed, and I was about to be very.
I mean, it puts you right to sleep. You know.
Caleb, Kevin's come for your title of host with the most.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I'm not. Nope.
It's a natural melatonin.
It is. Yeah.
Gets the fucking job done. Cool.
A cigarette.
Yeah, exactly. Better.
I can't. God, people, you can't do this to me.
Y'all nasty. All right.
We are. That's right, Kev. We are. Not you. Just us.
No.
We nasty.
Yeah.
We should. This is gonna be the
longest.
Episode,
good Jim Rash episode. He's very funny in this fucking episode of Community.
It just totally makes sense that Jim Rash wrote this. Honestly, it just 100%. Tasty. Yeah,
in the same way that it makes perfect sense that he directed the episode where he's in the VR headset, it just makes like perfect fucking sense.
He directed that one.
Yeah, he and his like
so
writing,
much.
directing partner co-directed that the Keith David introductory episode, and it just like you're like, this is a guy
on the writing team for the movie, and I refuse to speak about the movie in any other way aside from as if it's already happening. If Jim Rash does not participate on the writing team for this movie, I don't know what they're doing.
Academy Award winner Jim Rash.
You need an Academy Award winner on this movie.
Absolutely. Yeah, get him in. Fuck it. Yeah, let him just at least do some joke punch up. You know, like if nothing else. Something. Yeah, sounds good to me. But you're like, right, this is a guy that understands himself as a performer really well and will give him things that he specifically feels like he is good at as a comedic performer to do in an episode. That makes perfect sense. That fucking checks out to me.
Rips his whole shirt off, throws it at Annie.
Rules. Oh, he wanted to do that so bad. He's been like, I'm so jacked, and you keep not letting me take my shirt off. Just let me fucking take my shirt off.
And then Shirley's like, Annie, and she's like, I don't know what's happening.
That's fucking funny.
So
funny. Alison Brie, who I think this season has really fucking like kicked in the ass. Just like
took us this season for sure.
Just absolutely like one of the characters that I'm like, what are they doing with this? Every episode is about how she wants to fuck Jeff, and I'm like, come on, come on. And this episode lets her like give some good fucking comedy. Anyway, this is a good episode. I like this one quite a bit. Let's move on to the next one, shall we?
No.
Yes. The origin story.
Season 4, Episode 12, Heroic Origins. Directed by Victor Nelly Jr. Written by Steve Basilone, Annie Mabane, and Maggie Bandur. In this episode, Abed weaves together a crazy quilt of destiny to say that the SETI group was always destined to be together, and they were connected long before they ever actually knew each other. And, okay.
I'm sorry. I literally...
Yes?
I just have to say this. I do like this episode. I know you're gonna go into it, but the thing that gets me is they're going through it and they've crafted a pretty exceptional, like, retroactive, like, interwoven timeline kind of thing. It is impressive what they've pulled off, but my favorite aspect of all of it is like, well, what about Pierce? And then there's this sticky note that says, Pierce Hawthorne, regular at Greendale, interaction.
Unavoidable.
Unavoidable. Is that a sad face? He goes, I don't know. And then he takes it and
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounds good. Yeah, this is another one of those episodes that fucking Chevy was gone. Chevy was not on the show anymore.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Chevy. Your fucking stunt double is gonna fake a heart attack off screen.
Was that even Pierce? Who cares?
Who cares?
No, it definitely wasn't. That's why they didn't show his face.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the guy. Remember in season 1 when Abed makes movies about the study group? The guy that plays Pierce in those movies is Chevy Chase's stand-in. I think it's just that guy. I think it's just that guy. At least that, like, performer.
I also like that moment because it ends up bringing a bit of payoff to one of my least favorite bits in the whole show. Like, prior to the season, the post-credit where he can't work a fucking ice cream machine is so annoying to me. It's just so stupid. And then when they pull it in with this, it feels like it's a reference to that, and it makes me like it just a little bit more. And the fact that they tie it in with him faking a heart attack, I'm like, okay, this. I don't know.
Yeah, they actually kind of use it for like Pierce's position in the group as like the punching bag, as like the person we all laugh at and unite around laughing at. Like there's something there. My issue, there's good points in this episode. I have 2 issues. One, yeah, we get it. The Star Wars prequels aren't that good. Like, fucking, I get it, show. You want me to like you, so you dunk on the Star Wars prequels. Good. My other problem is that Community is a show about taking tropes or classic setups and inverting them and turning them in some way and flipping it over. And one of my least favorite tropes in media is we were always supposed to be together. Nothing can be happenstance. Like, it's all destiny. And they take that.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's one of my least favorite things in all media.
Yeah.
And they take that trope and they just do it. They don't invert it in any way. They just do it. And it feels like the season 1 finale where I'm like, Community is supposed to invert the trope of like the grand confession of love at the school dance. But it just does the trope, and that feels very un-Community.
I don't know. It also feels I don't know. I don't know why I like it a lot. I think there's something really like campy about it that's enjoyable to me. There's also something fun about the fact that you can also, as they put a lot of power in the viewer in this episode, where you have the option of going, is this
power to the players?
Is this real or is this not real? It's presented to you in a sense where it's like, very likely is like actually what happened, but it's also, you could also just as easily be like, this is Abed creating a fan fiction for his group of friends. And
okay.
That's also kind of fun. There's something about the way that they pull it off that feels really like genuine to who these people are, and that's what. And I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm having a harder time thinking of circumstances that actually use that trope. You two seem to be more aware of. Like this.
So
I should clarify. When Kev was talking about how much he hates this, and I was agreeing, I agree with that. I don't agree with that for this. For whatever reason, this show does it, and I don't hate it. I'm like, you know what? Fine. This show's meta as fuck anyway. But like when you go watch the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles, and it turns out that
it's Megan Fox's dad's
the one
that's
that made
doing
them, and she used to feed them pizza. And then when the fire happened in the facility, it made all the chemicals go down in the she's the one that put them in the sewer. And then
it's
added
like
the rat.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. It's not that it's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. It's not that you were bitten by a radioactive spider and took that chance to become like a hero. No, your dad experimented on your blood, and you were always supposed to be a hero. And I'm like, that sucks so hard.
What about, like,
it's so
the end of
ungratifying.
Joker,
Bad movie.
Joker's
Next question.
Joker's not a Batman. It doesn't take place in the DC universe.
No, but they totally play it up like it leads into what is the canon origin story.
Right. Fuck
Or
that.
yeah, okay, fair. What about even the Jack Nicholson Joker, where they kind of loosely imply that he killed his parents?
Don't like that either.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Here's the thing.
In the Daniel Craig James Bonds, where it's like, actually, Christoph Waltz was behind the last 3 movies, and I'm like, fuck you, no, he wasn't. I saw Casino Royale. He's not in it.
Yeah.
He's not. You can't prove he did that.
Yeah, it's the what was the first movie you referenced, Jace?
Joker.
Yeah. I've talked, I'm sure, about why I could not get into the show Gotham. The existence of any of Batman's gallery of rogues before Batman exists makes Batman not work for me. Like, Batman shows up to fight petty crime because the city's covered in petty crime. And then because petty crime can't fight a fucking superhero, supervillains show up. So, like, for Batman to be good, to me, all of the bad guys have to that exist have to exist because Batman existed first. Court of Owls, of course, gets the exception because they're not actually like villain run around in costumes.
They're bureaucratic underbelly.
Exactly.
That shit's tight.
That shit's very good, and I'm 100% fine with that. Because if one rich guy's able to change the city in one way, what is a cabal of rich people able to do? That's fine. Right. But like Joker being indirectly or directly the cause of Batman's parents dying makes Batman mentally breaking the way he did and becoming what he does meaningless. Because it's Joker's
the point
fault,
is
Batman's
that it's not
bad choice to deal with his grief. It's not Bruce going, I don't know how to go to therapy, so I'm going to punch people. It's no, this guy fucked you up real bad and you became his worst enemy. No, fuck that. It takes all of the responsibility off of Bruce. So like, yeah, like this is why I say I hate this. Is like, if you give me a reason for something and that reason doesn't, maybe it's because most of the time the reason doesn't line up. Like if you gave me a prequel and like threw something out that like, oh God, oh shit, Rogue One's a perfect example of this. That movie didn't need to get made at all and could still be fine if it never got made. But because they made it and added this weird little thing that like that one little hole that Luke shoots a torpedo down in A New Hope was put there on purpose so that it could be blown up by a guy who was forced to build it. Fucking cool. Like, I didn't need to know that, but cool. But then when you go back and tell me all the Ninja Turtles came from the same lab, fed pizza by the chick whose dad is the reason they're super...
No, there's definitely a way of doing that where it's like, it just feels heavy-handed, and it feels like you're just forcing a closed universe. Yeah. And I think this one, what it does is it plays with the idea of a forcing a closed universe, and that's the thing that it flips. Everybody's like, you're doing this thing that we all hate, where you're saying we're all connected, we're not fucking connected, stop that. And then it feels like, and then it comes down to, but also it's not something that like affects the characters or their storylines. It works like seeing Britta running through this hospital with a monkey on her shoulder at the same time as seeing Annie trying to steal a prescription pad while Abed says, by the way, there's someone stealing your prescription pad, right? That doesn't make me go, ugh, you know what I mean? That makes me go, that's funny. That's a fun little moment that who knows if it's even real or not. But it's one of those fun, like, you know, it's...
I think the end of the episode is pretty unambiguous. IMHO. We could maybe disagree about the degrees of this, but I think it's pretty unambiguous that it is all literal. And I'm like, okay, so like they knew Annie's boobs before like the chicken fingers episode, and it's like the same.
Well, they didn't
monkey?
know Annie's boobs.
But like that, it's like, oh, Britta freed Annie's boobs, but then Abed later bought, and like it just like it doesn't make, and then like, you know, we're being very pedantic about like a sitcom timeline, but like they make me ask that question by the virtue of this episode, and it's just that closed universe shit that I am not into.
I kind of like that it brings it to this kind of this unreal plane. And the thing is, like, the show does this a lot, and there are times that it does it when I really don't like it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
especially
If
in this
they,
season.
like Shirley and Jeff in the foosball episode.
That's fun.
Them going to this, that works for me, because that then leads to, like, a re-understanding of this character conflict between these two people, right? But we don't wring any of that same juice out of
we get
any
a
of these connections.
We get a newfound understanding of Chang. We get
I guess like that he like brought them together, but he already brought them together in the Spanish class. So like, why add this extra level?
But as far as like being included in their group, though, there's that
we like see the origin of the Dean's like costumes, which you'd already seen with the Dalmatian thing. It just like it creates all of these, like,
that
extra...
one I didn't like.
If you want to do an episode of a Community that is a parody of this idea, right? And you just like completely fucking blow it out, and it turns out that everyone was responsible for everything, and then you tear it down and it's not actually real, that's an episode of Community I can really get into. But this is just like, it's just this trope that I don't like, that I've also seen 1,000 times. They don't do anything to then take it to a heightened comedic community reality. That's all.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't bother me in the same way, but I completely agree with what you're saying. I totally see what you're saying. It makes perfect sense. I've seen, like, there are times when I see that trope and it, like, actually, like, is upsetting, because it feels like it takes away from sort of awesome about it, and then there are times when it adds something, and I'm like, that's very cool. This lies right in the middle for me, where I don't feel like it adds anything, but I don't feel like it takes anything away, and because of that, there's something about being able to look at it and go, the fact that they pulled this off is kind of impressive to me, that I'm like...
Jeff being the lawyer for Andre's stripper, I don't hate. But my problem is we don't then use that for a juicy storyline. It's now just kind of this thing. That, like, oh, he got comedian Natasha Leggero off of a criminal charge, and then she slept with Andre. This episode, I mean, like, Andre, you know, did some fucked up things, but it's like, Andre is so pissed that Shirley went to pick up their children on their anniversary that he cheats on her. Like, Andre sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Andre sucks.
Andre fucking sucks. I'm also, people point out a lot of ways that this episode directly conflicts with the backstories of these characters that have been set up. Like, it doesn't make sense with previous stories we've heard about these characters' backstories. That, like, Troy didn't recognize Annie in the pilot, but they had hung out at a party, like, 3 months ago and, like, knew who each other were. Like, they were on speaking terms. They weren't, like, friends, but, like, he doesn't recognize her at all, and she doesn't have her back brace that, like, she was supposed to have.
Oh, back brace, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I see it as, like, you know, Annie, like, speaks up, and he's like, who are you? And then she runs out, and then the next time he sees her, he just, like, doesn't remember. But he also says that he lied.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I know they do justify, they retcon it,
right? Saying
which is
I lied,
fine. Like that's
fucking
okay.
easy retcon, right?
Right, and like, listen, I read fucking comic books, which, like, you know, you just have to expect a certain amount of this doesn't make any sense at all. Like, you just have to be like, okay, Wolverine, who was introduced as just this guy, and then 10 years later you told me he's actually 100 years old, and you just have to go like, sure, I guess that makes sense. Okay, fine, you know, whatever. It's you know, and honestly, it's not a big deal.
No.
We all have much bigger problems in our lives than whether or not, like, whether or not Andre cheated with a bank teller or a stripper. We've heard both things, and it doesn't actually matter that. Yeah, because the first time Shirley talks about Andre cheating, in the first Halloween episode, she refers to Andre's mistress as a long neck weave having bank teller who I would not use any of those words to describe a stripper necessarily.
Oh my
So
God.
that's a conflicting story. But like, you know, okay, whatever.
I mean, also,
maybe
I
she
will just
daylights
always
as a bank teller. Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I
She has a
will
day job.
always default to being like, Troy was a literally different character the first couple episodes. Like, he just was. Like, when you watch, like, Troy being like, yeah, I mean, of course, you could be like, oh, it's growth, but it's straight up, it's just like, it's a TV show. They came into their characters as they did more episodes. Like, that's just, like, how it works.
Oh, for sure.
Like
the Troy
watching the
we
first
see in
episode-
episode 1 makes no sense with the Troy we get later on,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
It's like watching the first season of Parks and Rec or the first season of The Office.
Woof.
Both of them are painful and slow and kind of bad.
Yeah.
But then when you go back after you finish and you go back and watch it, it's also great to watch because then you're like, oh shit, look how different they fucking were. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and yeah, it's what you said, Jay. So you could see it as growth, or you could also just see it as like, it's the first season. Who fucking
Right.
knows? What
Also,
this character is
speaking
right
of...
now?
Right, exactly. No, speaking of Parks and Rec, though, if anybody has an account of Peacock where they're actually paying for it so I can watch more than just the first 2 seasons of Parks and Rec, I would...
I'm
Love
gonna
that.
get one at some point, and I'll let you know.
I was gonna say, is
Because
this
like
the subscription our group's gonna share this.
yeah, I mean, y'all already can have my Criterion. That's,
Oh, that's
completely
right.
fine.
That's right.
And Criterion doesn't have accounts, so you can use it as many times as you want. But Peacock is going to have all of Parks and Rec, a MacGruber TV series. They just greenlit a 10-episode Ryan Johnson, Natasha Leggero mystery series for Peacock. Peacock's also going to have every WWE match of all time on it soon. So, like,
Crap.
I'm gonna start paying for Peacock at some point, and I'll let y'all know.
I'm like...
AP Bio Season 3 I haven't
They
seen
have a
yet,
lot
so,
of...
like...
I actually really like this show. This is my... I don't know if either of you have watched it. Superstore?
Yeah.
I've heard that's very good,
I
but I haven't
loved
seen it.
that show. I mean, I haven't caught up in a minute, but like
It's got
greatly
Colton Dunn.
enjoyed
I love Colton Dunn.
a show that makes fun of Walmart, where the people are viewed as unionizing, and it's shown in a positive light. Yes, please.
Takes place in St. Louis too.
Is it really?
Oh, is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, it takes place in
I
St.
mean, I don't know why I doubted you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's fine. I don't say shit that means anything ever. It's fine.
I'm sorry, dog.
Fucking with you.
I got some bad habits I gotta break out of.
Got some
I'm
fun
working on
learning
myself, you
to do.
Working on
That's
myself.
right. Always, you know,
Question.
it's not about being ashamed of yourself, but if you grow, you will that will end up
It's not
happening, and that's
it's
okay,
not
folks.
about being ashamed of yourself. It's being willing to
It's
accept that eventually you will be ashamed of yourself.
It's about growing, and
Snaps for
that's
that.
the real goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Jace, you were
Yeah,
saying.
I have a question.
yeah.
So
Show.
we end this episode with Chang
Mhm.
being like, "I'm out," you know, like, "Fuck
Mhm.
this, I'm not."
And then, of course, we get a giant spider blueprint. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Do we ever get the giant spider?
No,
No.
This was the beginning of my pitch for the movie. Is that
Boy.
a giant spider attacks Greendale, and our
Yeah.
study group has to assemble like the Avengers and fight back.
A
Oh my
big
God,
Wild Wild
bring
West
the-
spider
Bring the
attacks.
Russo brothers in.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God. Well, wait. Do they go back? Is City College addressed at all in 5 or 6?
No, this is the last appearance of Dean Spreck. I believe City College is mentioned from time to time. Oh, City College does an attack ad on Greendale in season 6, where they gave a degree.
So they
To a
could.
dog?
They could do the spider.
Yes.
They could. I would say it is perhaps a failing of basic television drama to, at the second to last episode of a season, say giant spider coming, and then not do that in the finale. I would say maybe
And not
that's
the
a little
finale?
bait and
It's
switch.
such a weird choice. It's like, oh, cool. Wait,
Wait, what?
but you just weren't. Okay.
Oh, you just weren't.
But why?
And this is the end of the Changnesia plot. Glad we did that. glad we spent a whole season doing this, huh? that this is the ending. Abed just says don't do it anymore, and he's like, okay. Aren't we glad we did 12 episodes of this fucking plotline? Are we as a unit like, oh, glad this paid off?
Like, I've been fooling people so I can fuck them over, and then right when it gets to the part where it could have created some sense of conflict, he's like, nah, let me go to the post office.
Lates.
It is funny though that like in a couple episodes in season 5, he mentions that like because he came clean, he had to go to jail for a little bit. He was like, no, I had to go to jail, and now I'm out, and it's fine, and I'm a teacher, or whatever. That was funny to me. It was like, okay,
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to, like, now fully experience the return, like, that season 5 was. Because for me, I didn't fully, like,
let me tell you.
It, like, I was like, season 4, I never fully understood. I was like, season 4 is not bad, and now that I'm looking at it in a critical lens, I'm like, it's not great. It's not great. And I'm excited.
It's watchable though, because it
is still watchable.
It's watchable because there's bad shows, and this isn't bad. It's like, just not what we're used to.
Right, bad Community is still good TV. It's like a bad Marvel movie is still a good movie. You know what I mean? I'm just excited to like get into season 5 and like have some sort of emotional connection to when they say, "Oh, there was a gas leak," and kind of poke fun at what happened and we're not talking about. I'm very excited to get into the Yahoo years as well.
Oh, y'all, I fucking love season 6. Season 6 gets so much shit on the goddamn internet. Frankie and Elroy.
They're amazing. They're so good. It's just not. They're just not the originals that we want. It's.
I know.
Like, we want Troy back, and it's like, well, you can't. We've got Troy at home.
The show becomes about the it becomes about the absence of Troy without being dragged down on it. Like, it is about, like, can we grow and change after losing a major part of ourselves? Because, Pierce leaves and nobody cares.
It's a different lens on Community.
Forgettable.
Right. And, like, it's not as if Troy leaves and the show stops being fucking funny.
It's still funny. We're just, we're just not getting Troy comedy, which is, it's so good. But, and
I love it. That's
not what
Troy's
makes
great.
Community. Community is, and this is something that we've also kind of, upon reflecting, even what makes season 4 episodes good. What makes Community isn't a specific style of comedy, which is present for most of it. The thing that's the true identifier of what makes Community is the heart that they manage to pull into a lot of these episodes. And the way that they can balance different types of comedy and the meta lens and the flipping of tropes all around whenever they can. Stories that are ultimately about people finding community. And I know that sounds maybe like, community, but like, seriously,
sure.
The show is about community.
You just said some Pinterest shit. That's you did.
But it is also like
shit, but it's true.
But like, it's true. Like, I'm the community. I'm trying to find a word out that's not community to drive the point across, but it really isn't. It's really hard.
It's about disparate. It's the plot of all of my favorite shows. It's about disparate people coming together through necessity and finding like a common bond and realizing that like the only thing that makes this whole thing worth doing is each other, is other people, and that is the whole point of this. And Community as a show, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse, and whether through like necessity or desire, metamorphosizes every season. Like, every season is a very distinct entity. And sometimes it's because a cast member leaves, or sometimes it's like, oh, Modern Warfare was really good, so season 2 should have, like, a lot of conceptual episodes. But then, like, by the time you get to season 6, it's like, no, we're not really, like, the genre parody show anymore. Like, now we have this new energy from fucking Paget Brewster and Keith David, and let's, like, use that fucking energy now. Let's invent and let's play. And I know that, like, that's not going to work equally for everyone, but like, we're passing the fucking energy sphere and it's always live. Community never stops trying to invent itself over again. It's never happy with where it's been, and it's always trying something new, and that's admirable. True.
Yeah.
Absolutes. Let's rank these danked episodes, shall we? Let's rank these dank episodes.
Yeah, it's fucking dank.
It's fucking dank, ain't it, mate? Alright, let's rank them end tags first. I play too many fantasy video games where people talk like that.
Dude, thank you. I'm sitting here while you're doing that specific voice and being like, why do I also do the same fucking voice? Like,
Because you played any RPG.
Literally any
Even
of them.
one.
Literally any of them. I do it all the time, and like,
How are we gonna show the bad guys bad?
Make them talk like this.
Hey, that's a Witcher over there. It is.
oh, I saying it. It's the
If I'm
fucking-
saying it. Hey, if that's not Batman and I'm not the Penguin. Yeah, exactly. Hey, any hoozle. Okay, so the first end tag we're ranking here is the fake outtakes.
I love this one.
It's a
This
good
is
one.
So good.
Troy and Abed are faking outtakes, and then the Dean gets in on it.
Oh, okay. This doesn't happen. I thought this happened earlier.
Feet ball?
Oh my god.
Runs into the
I
door.
never do this. This one's really fucking funny to me.
I swear, I never do this.
It's like when you're watching like a Pixar movie when they do fake outtakes, and you're like, someone like animated this. Like someone was like, "What'd you do at work today, honey?" Oh, I pretended like the toy fell into duct tape, and then he laughed.
I always think about Mike
That
Wazowski
adult
going, God, go throw up. And then they pipe in
Throw
fake laughter from a fake set. And
Throw up.
he goes, what? What'd I say? What'd I say? What's going? And it's Billy Crystal giving an amazing performance, but it's just so fucking meta. Oh my god.
That realization for young adult Caleb was fucking world bending. I was like,
Pivotal, right?
remember these? Wait a minute, they're not real. Oh my god! Like it just fucked with me for like an hour. I had this like existential crisis as like a 15-year-old watching Toy Story again for the like millionth time, but like for the first time in 5 years, and being like,
They make it where like a bug flies into Buzz's mouth. Did they bring a character from Bug's Life into one of them?
it's just.
All right, we got to roll.
It's like I want to go to bed. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's 11:30. This one's up here high for me. I'm looking at maybe our top season 4 end tag, Let's V Splingles, and this one's up from that one for me.
Definitely above that.
Dawn of Chip. I hate how much bad.
I'm gonna actually say
Snyder Cut coming out on the day this episode drops.
Oh my god! I'm going to say, for me, I would put this below Britta's penis test and above In the Morning with Rich. I could flip flop.
I could go either way on Horsepot 3000.
Yeah,
Horsepot 3000 wins for me because it always makes me chuckle, and sometimes this end tag is like, yeah, fake outtakes.
Yeah, we get it. Okay, sounds good.
I just
Perfect.
love Jim Nash and Troy
good.
and having a perfect moment. So good.
New
But
number
Jeff
26.
crying and being like, I really liked Horsepot.
Horsepot 3000. What the hell is the end tag of the fucking...
Fighter. No.
For failure to deliver and for overall usefulness, this deserves, and I will campaign on it getting nothing better than 81.
Wow, and that's the bottom.
Yeah.
For anyone who can't see the list, that's the bottom one.
Oh, can we put it at 80?
No, because American Inspector Space Time makes me cringe laugh.
What a negotiation.
I really
Put it
want
second to last.
Here's the thing, because this one at least is like, what the fuck? And American Inspector Spacetime makes me. This one is what the fuck. American Inspector Spacetime is fuck you, and I don't like that. You know what I mean?
I feel the opposite because this one promises something I forget.
Tiebreaker.
Yes, I
This one
feel the
promises
power of the
something I forget.
tiebreaker.
And
I am
So hard. Is it 80 or 81? I just can't tell.
new number 81.
Yes.
Giant spider blueprint, because I will never let this go. I will be willing to remove this end tag if it's in the movie. Which, like, I don't know if that's what I want the Community movie.
what
I don't know if I want like a giant spider. But
what?
don't tell me there's going to be
plans
one.
away because it's not feasible. But
Don't
still.
tell me there's going to be one. I don't necessarily want one, but don't tell me it's there and then
You know what I would take? You know what I would take as the presence of the robotic spider? I'm gonna say Abed is some sort of indie filmmaker, and he makes some dumb Godzilla-like movie, and he makes some sort of spider attack something. And that'll be a good enough Easter egg for me.
Sounds good. So the body swap episode. So I'm up here at number 43, which is our current height of season 4 with Herstory of Dance.
We can go higher.
I think we're gonna look a little higher up here.
We can go higher.
We can go anywhere in a balloon. Okay. So I'm looking up here. I think my ceiling for how high this one can go is number 37, Beginner Pottery.
I was actually gonna say around that as well. I could probably even go maybe one above it. Actually, no, I'll probably do it just below Beginner Pottery, honestly.
Yeah.
Which one's
this,
Anthro 101?
Anthro 101 is the season 2 premiere with Betty White.
I could actually put this one above that, honestly.
Yeah. I'll hear it. It's not above Introduction to Film.
No, certainly not. But I could put
which
it
is
above
Professor Whitman and Abed's dad watching his movie.
No, that's
day.
the shit right there.
Seize the day. Daddy Host, how would you like to seize the day?
I think that I will say this whole sentence.
I hate you.
Oh, nice. Cool.
And then I'll answer it. No, I hate
nice.
cops. That's basically what my brain just did.
I hate
I hate cops.
Season 2, episode 1, for some reason, like, has this. It's this bug in my brain that's like, nah, it's better than this. And I can't figure out why. Maybe just because it's season 2 and, like, inherently is better. But,
This I'm gonna put I genuinely think this is better than season 2 episode 1. I mean, this is one of the lower season 2. It might actually no, it's not the lowest season 2. Maybe it is. I don't know.
It's not the lowest. It's down there though.
Yeah, I just for me, like just Anthropology 101. I love that tickles you so much, Caleb.
there's just
maybe it's just me, but for me,
there's a TikTok account of a guy that lives in New York.
Quoting.
That for me, and every time I
That's
hear
literally
you
who
say
I'm
it, okay, amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but every time
Yeah.
you would say it, that's what I would think of, and those videos crack me the fuck up. So
For me. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. There's something about this episode that like nails that heart thing that you get in Introduction to Film, and I don't get that in season 2, and that kind of always wins for me.
that works. I feel it. I feel you. Because I can't think of what the thing is about Anthro 101.
Yeah, it's a gut. I mean, literally, when I saw that, when I
Just
said,
yeah.
when I asked what Anthropology 101 was, I was like, could this possibly be better than season 2, episode 1? And then I was like, actually, it is.
actually, yes.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we have a new height of season 4. I feel like this is the highest it's going to go.
It
So
is.
number 36.
It's not like there's that
Basic
many
Human
episodes
Anatomy. Yeah, because now we're on Heroic Origins, so we just gonna scroll on down here. we just gonna scroll on down. All right. Because I honestly think this one's about on par with the fucking puppet episode for me, where I'm like,
I would put it
fine.
I would put it above Felt easily.
I would put it above cooperative escapism of familial relations.
Ones that
The Thanksgiving episode with
Yeah.
Just Dad.
I would put this one above that for sure.
Wow. All right. Well, we're out of my space, so y'all debate it from here.
I thought I was gonna have to debate to go up. This is exciting for me. We're in new territory. Which one is social psychology?
That is the first Jeff and Shirley episode where they are gossiping about Vaughn and his tiny nipples.
This isn't passing that or environmental science for me.
Which one's
Yes.
I agree.
is environmental
So
science the
73 or
one?
74. Like this will just edge out number 75.
If
because
for no... Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, which
Oh,
one
no,
is environmental science?
That's the one with the somewhere out there Green Day mashup.
Okay,
Right.
There's nothing in
no,
this episode is good.
75. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Alright,
Just
cool.
above cooperative escapism, relations.
Familial relations. Heroic origins.
Did you hear that? I just had a
new number
stroke.
75.
Of genius.
And everyone
Great fucking reference, Caleb. Oh,
love
my
the
God.
producers. Yes. Anyway, we have.
What?
There's only
So good.
there's only one episode of season 4 left to rank. Will it be the fucking worst one? I guess only time will tell.
What are we doing for? Are we watching just the last epi, or are we doing the last of 4 and then the first of?
No, we're doing the last of 4. I want
So-
to. We'll be doing the season 4 finale on its own, and also the season 5 premiere on its own, because I think there's a lot to discuss regarding Repilot. So that's where we are. My only plug this week. Stay tuned for the rest of this episode, where I have an interview with a married couple that met in the comments section of a review of Community.
No way.
That is my. So stay listening to the 40 minutes left in this episode. I promise you, there's some good shit in there, and I will pass it off to Chal.
I don't have anything to plug at all. I have a reverse plug. I want you to tell me something, listeners, that you are enjoying right now. Maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a different TV show, maybe it's a video game, preferably on PlayStation, because I'm still trying to find video games that I like.
Play Persona.
I should play Persona. You have been speaking praises to Persona recently, yeah.
Play Persona. I think it will be your shit.
Yeah, just, give me, just tell me things that make you happy right now, What are things that have gotten you through this quarantine? Yeah, if you're trans, I love you. If you're cis, I love you too. But if you're trans, I love you.
On my end, what do I have to promote? I put up an episode of So my website changed a little bit. I think I may have talked about this last week, but I'm not entirely sure. Bounty Board,
You did, but say it again.
Bounty Board, our normal every week group of people talk about games podcast has moved to every other week, and now it's on Thursdays, and now it's called the Nerdy Bits Show, which was a show we were running concurrently, but was only talking about pop culture and not games. So now it's everything, and we're doing that, and we're doing it every other week because, unlike me, some people don't want to talk about something games related every single week, and that's fine.
Weird.
So we're giving people more freedom to talk about stuff that they care about. That means, though, that the podcast that I've been doing, I was doing, Bounty Board, has become my thing alone, which some people, I'm sure, were like, that's done. It's not. So on Monday, we did an episode about Blaseball, the little eldritch horror baseball sim that exists on the internet. It's amazing. That episode, I think, is very good. It's also very info heavy because we're talking about how it's changed and shit. But more importantly, this Thursday, I was going to wait until Monday, but I can't. This Thursday, I'm putting out the episode that I recorded with Rami Ismail last night, which I have literally been on cloud 9 since then. Rami Ismail is an indie game ambassador and travels around the world talking about giving advice on how to make indie games, things like this. And we talked for 2 hours of the just most natural, friendly, awesome conversation about inclusivity and crunch and what it means to make games and how games are fucking magic because they shouldn't work. Just the wildest shit. And it was great. And it felt like connecting with an old friend. So that's coming out Thursday. That's the only thing I want to promote. Please listen to that episode and tell me it's as good as I think it is because I had a blast.
I bet it is. Knowing you, it's gonna be great.
Well, thank you. That's more praise than I think I deserve, but I'll take it.
I think you deserve it.
We accept the praise we think we deserve. To paraphrase Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, wrong movie.
And,
my bad.
Did you say Batman?
Yeah, the hero we need but deserve something.
Oh.
Who we are underneath. It's who we are underneath, not what we do that define. No, wait.
No, that is Batman Begins. But I'm talking about the.
It's not what the man I am underneath, but what I do.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
No, I was thinking of. I don't know. I don't even know.
It's weird. There are movies that don't have Batman in them. I can't prove this.
Why do we have only talked about Batman all episode?
See, it's funny because for me currently, if you were to tell me that there are video games without Batman in them, I'd be like, I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that's true.
I mean, I've played all the way through 3 video games, and all of them have had Batman. So,
so as far as you know,
no, don't worry, y'all. I finally got Spider-Man, so there will be some.
Okay.
Some minimal.
A different superhero.
A different swinger, if you will.
Wow.
Different swinger.
Jesus. We will be back next week with the finale of the gas leak year. Fuck content, make art, and also pop.
I'm so
Lord.
You started to go in a very
I don't know what I was doing.
You started to go in a very intriguing southern twang direction.
Singer. I don't know
and then
why I make choices I make, but they're never good choices.
That's the thesis of every movie about a famous singer. Don't know why I make the choices I make.
Also
A Star is Born.
It's also the
Starring
theme.
Lady Gaga.
It's also the theme to every Batman movie. Why do
Yeah.
we down Bruce?
Batman says, I don't know, I'm just a singer.
Hey guys, I'm the balloon guide. Before we take off, I'm gonna check the balloon ties. Look at the burner, check out the basket. If you have a question, feel free to ask it.
Could we go to space?
Could we fly to heaven?
I'd rather fly to Vegas.
It's getting time to ride the balloon.
It is my very special pleasure to welcome to Advanced Community Studies Paul Kist and Ariel Pierce. Both of you, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Yes, Ariel, I believe you, when I decided to start doing this show like 10 months ago, you were like,
Yeah.
hey, I have this very interesting community-based story. And then 10 months later, I took you up on that offer.
Yeah. And
so
then the
that-
story, I guess, changed. Yeah, it's true. So we met on the AV Club community board, the one that Emily Vanderworth used to write back during seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, season 3 had that hiatus. So AV Club was
during regional holiday music.
Yeah. So I guess everybody was just super into community and replying, and they were inspired by all the stuff people had done for Firefly and stuff. And this was before Firefly had gotten people started to really act like, oh, we could bring back Arrested Development or something. But they were like, we're gonna get it to 10,000 comments, and then it was 100,000, and then it was what, 1 million, something like that. Yeah,
Very lofty goals.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And so at the beginning it was community talk,
Yeah, but then you run out of stuff to say about community.
Yeah.
And they're just people in a message board. At
yeah,
some
you're
point.
just 2 19-year-olds talking to a bunch of 30-year-olds and maybe some 14-year-olds. And so we started doing we were all losers. So there's my cat, or Paul's cat. Okay. So basically it started to be we're all losers. We're staying home on Fridays and Saturdays, watching the day after. So we'd watch Community when it came back, because we decided to extend the board out, and we watched it and we'd talk about it on Thursday, and then Friday it was game night basically. And so it's people playing Fuck, Marry, Kill and Truth or Dare. I remember and I think we were both perpetually horny in a way that couldn't even be properly described.
I think all the teenagers on the board were.
Yeah, I think most of the adults too. But I remember there was Truth or Dare, and I picked Truth, and somebody had asked, what's one of your favorite movies? or like, what's your favorite movie? And I said The Secretary, and he like made like grossed out by like some like, oh really kind of comment.
I think they call it horny on Maine now.
Yeah, you would have been bunked. But eventually people were like, oh, these are like we're gonna move to the other boards. We're not gonna stay on regional holiday music because AV Club had a message system called Discuss or Discuss.
They changed it a few times, but
Yeah.
Discus was one they had for at least a couple of years.
Yeah, it was like the main one, and it always sucked, but it had pagination, so like you could like go to page like 10 or whatever, and they switched it to like it was scrolling, so you had to just scroll through 20,000 comments, and the only options were like 100,000 comments, and the only options to scroll through these comments were through oldest first, newest first, or like best, and there hadn't been a best comment since like mid-December, and it was like May at this point. And the newest first, there'd still be a lot of bullshit, so you'd be like, where are my friends? Where are like these 12 people who are still talking to each other? Like, we weren't even the only couple.
No, there were a handful.
Yeah, there was this one girl, she was from Australia, and the guy, his name Wet Biscuit McGee or something, he was from Germany. They started to go out, and they were really like, but they were like online dating, and then it was us, and we were like in that middle age, like
Of late teens.
We were 19. We had like, they were like moving the comments around, and it was like, oh, we're gonna start going by the boards, but because of that, like, we're gonna go for each episode, we're gonna start talking like tiny chat. And so Paul and I ended up both alone on a tiny chat, and then we started dating. So just assume that everything you could imagine going on in a 2-person tiny chat. And then I started college, and you were working. I'm gonna stop talking so you can hear.
Okay. Yeah. I was working. I grew up in Southern California, and I was actually living in Vegas when Community premiered, and I had dropped out of high school, and I really vibed with the like premise and the thematic sort of presentation of the show. And then I got into the AV Club a couple of years later, and the AV Club had been like building a pretty steady user base. Like the last episode of Lost got a few thousand comments, and then like popular shows were getting really big. Yeah, I gravitated towards the AV Club because it was intellectual-esque.
It was like Letterboxd before Letterboxd got super
basically
popular. And I had gotten on AV Club because I had gotten like aggressively obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer during my leap year. Of course, everything going on, fuck Joss Whedon.
Yeah, it goes without saying. Fuck Joss Whedon. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was basically trying to consume all Buffy content possible, and somebody was doing like a review retrospective on AV Club. I think it might have also been Emily. So I think so. But I was like basically just lurking the entire time, and that's mainly what I did on the community board. But I was like, needed a new show, and I started rewatching Community because I was watching it because I was really into the soup.
Yeah, that's how I got into it too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
just being a Chevy Chase fan, I guess.
Chris. Yeah.
Maybe less so now.
Yeah. But so that was kind of the thing, is like we were just both kind of floating. And then we like get together like in August of the year that after we met. So it was like 2011 when the board started. In 2012 we were dating in August, and then he moved over here February of 2013. By then we were like married by December 2013.
Proper Missouri timeline.
Yeah, very Missouri, very quick. Yeah, it's pretty fast. Basically, we were just trying to like be able to get back into school and not have to worry about my parents doing taxes. If you know anything about parents from the counties. We're still technically married.
Legally we are.
We're legally married, but we are getting a divorce. This is not
slowly but surely.
Slowly. Once the pandemic's done, the divorce is final, or we'll push it off because then we have to like raise money to get different places. Yeah, but it's because I'm gay, so
That's okay. I appreciate y'all coming on to tell me this story all the same, because it is very interesting, even though now, you know, the coda is a little bit different to the story. But that is life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, the episode that you guys were saying this might be connected with is the one where Britta and Troy break up in season 4. And it's like, are we spoiling it?
No. I assume anyone listening to this has probably seen the show.
I was just thinking, okay, but
a discussion part first.
okay, well, like we were like, oh, that's kind of like our situation, friends to like a relationship until we like break up, and then we're still friends. Like we're like, oh, that's fun. Purely coincidental, but fun.
I promise it was not pointed. It was just because the episode names were short and I could fit like with your names in there. But the next episode we're recording is Conventions of Space and Time and Alternative History of the German Invasion. There's no room for extra information in the episode title. So that is why it was not some grand scheme of mine.
We didn't think it was pointed. We thought it was just kind of like, what a fun coinky thing.
Yeah. Synchronicity.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like Chang in the last episode, you are legit gay, and I'm very happy for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that has been a wonderful story. We can keep talking about other various community related things if y'all would like. If you want to talk a little bit about your community journey, that's usually the first question I'll ask. Like, how did you come to the show? It seems like y'all were with the show for quite some time. You were there for big season 3 shakeup. You got married between seasons 4 and 5. You know, so there's a lot going on here.
Yeah. I started watching from the pilot. I was trying to do this thing where I was watching it because it was on at the same time as The Big Bang Theory. And everyone was like, watch this show. It's so funny. And I didn't think it was particularly funny, but I was also gonna just do whatever. So I would alternate between them, and I would save the other one on my DVR, and I would never watch the Big Bang Theory ones, and I'd always watch the Community ones over and over again. But I was like, they come out about the same time. I think that Big Bang Theory is a season longer, or season before. Yeah. Because I just was really into the soup. Because I was into Best Week Ever, and I was into all the I Loves from VH1.
Classic pop culture.
Yeah, just no personality, only
references.
Same here.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
Yeah, Joel McHale was plugging Community a lot on the soup at the time, and I was watching a fair amount of E just because I had loads of time on my hands.
Like I actually didn't watch season 5 or 6 when they aired, and I only watched half of season 4.
Yeah, you kind of dropped off.
Yeah, I took a break. I rewatched them recently, or watched them recently, but I had taken this like break because I was just like, I think I had like so much. I invested so much energy into Community, especially the 3rd season, and it was like what was going on with like Dan Harmon and stuff, and then what came out about Megan Gans and Dan Harmon. I was just like, oh, I don't know if I really want to engage in this the same way I used to. And so I took a break because I was like, if my favorite parts of the show are like Megan Gans episodes, and she had such a hard time working on the show, I don't know if I can enjoy the show the same way. It's not like, you know, I had a lot of other shows I was really involved in. I was really into Hannibal. And basically any Brian Fuller. Oh, God damn it.
Exact opposite kinds of gay men. Like, you could not get more diametrically opposed.
Well, I was really into like the original X-Men movies, but like, yeah,
of course.
So was I, but man,
it's fucking bummer. This episode's about dudes who made shit you like being fucking bummers.
Horrible men. The X-Men movies are like, it's Bryan Singer, but you also have Brett Ratner in there.
They're just
and
all
you
bad guys.
is like the only okay one James Mangold? Like, is he the only one that's okay? And even then, I'm like, what do we not know?
And Joss Whedon too, right?
Yeah, because he did Punch Up on the first X-Men movie.
He wrote that Toad line.
Oh, fuck. Hey guys, welcome to Bummer Community Remembrance Time.
And Kevin Spacey had a cameo.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Fuck.
God.
What are we doing? What are we doing? We've ruined the mood. Is this all our fault?
No,
We're gonna be like, hey, we fell in love, but now we're in divorce.
Yeah, the world's ending.
The world's ending. I haven't been outside in a year.
I think you're just articulating what we're all feeling. I think you're just giving voice to things, and we're not, shy about like Dan Harmon or any of these dudes. We'll throw them right in the trash can in the regular.
Oh, yeah. I like for our honeymoon, we saw
an episode of Harmontown
at Nerd Melt when it still existed.
Wow.
Because he's from outside of LA.
Yeah, we were visiting my family out in the high desert.
The first time I met your family.
Yeah, and we were like, well, this is enough of that. We have to go drive 3 hours to LA.
Yeah. And so we did that, and like that was like fun, like sick Kumail Nanjiani hot take.
Oh yeah, I just said he was very hot even back then.
Yeah, I don't.
Very
people like to
attractive man.
pretend he got hot. I think he was kind of hot the whole time. It just took people a minute to catch on.
Yeah, you just had to see some veins in the forearms to be convinced.
He's kind of terrifying now. He looks like he's made out of like energy bars.
Mm-hmm.
But that energy bar eats like a gooey butter cake every other fortnight or something.
It does look like somebody put a Kumail skin on a Chris Pratt.
Please quit adding bad men to the pile. We're gonna have such a pyre by the end of this.
I say let it up. It's okay. It's time to, we can still watch these shows, but it is important to acknowledge that, like, wow, there's a long lineage of trash men. It's this weird, I'm starting to think that like Dan Harmon, someone who cultivated a weekly audience of sycophants to listen to him talk every week, like maybe that's never a good thing. Maybe we should take that as a warning sign from now on.
I think right, like the 2010s were really about was teaching us that having auteurs is bad. Like having these like just like people who can just do whatever they want for whatever fucking reason because they're artists is actually not cool, and art has limits, and those limits are the people you collaborate with.
Yeah, maybe we'll move away from cult of personality types eventually.
Oh, never.
Yeah, because we this era that we're talking about was also, I think, this big nascency of geek culture and people becoming popular for liking geek culture. Not even like the Whedons and the Harmons that make it, but like the Chris Hardwicks, like these people that became known for being public geeks, and like how many of them have remained untarnished as a part of like almost none, 0%. Maybe that's a warning sign.
It was like this weird time because I went from being like, I was always a weird kid. We went to the same fine arts academy, full of weird kids. By like the time we had graduated high school, it was just like very cool to be like a geek and to like geek shit. And so I went to Chicago Comic-Con specifically for Buffy. I had watched so much Buffy. I tend to like obsess over one thing. That's why geek culture is so appealing. You find something you like for a really long time, and before it was Community, it was Fringe, and you're just like, oh my god, it's so amazing. And then you're like, actually, now that I have stepped away from it, I was just 18. I was just looking for cool older guys to talk to me about stuff I didn't know shit about. And then I would like absorb that information so that now I can impress like cooler women being like, here's information that sucked when you heard it from a guy named Jared, but now if it's from me, a person named Ariel, you're gonna be into it. And I hope that works out for me. That's all I hope, is that by the end of this, I've got like just a million Felicia days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, probably not Felicia Day, but you know, just like somebody who's like, I love geek shit, and I'll be like, I only like this show for 6 months, and then I'm gonna stop caring about it, but we'll try. But I like Community for like years and years.
Yeah, I watched it through the end, even though Yahoo's streaming service desperately wanted me not to.
Oh yeah.
Yahoo Screen, people blame Community for the fall of Yahoo Screen. Yahoo Screen was already dead. Like, Yahoo Screen was never alive. It needed to be saved. It couldn't be killed. Like, there was no...
Yeah, it was a bad idea. I remember, like, I think my last real big Community thing is during the, like, pillow fort blanket for, like episodes, there was, on Reddit, there was this huge push to, like, make propaganda for both, and I made pillow fort propaganda. I'm Lily's arms holding her baby, and it said, you wouldn't or I think it was blanket fort, it had to have been, you wouldn't swaddle your baby in a pillow.
You made a ton of fan art.
Oh yeah, there was that video game, and I made sprites for that.
Yeah.
And then
Hawthorne.
yeah. And then what was the one?
You made, and we wrote that porn parody.
Oh, we wrote that porn parody.
Congratulations. That's yeah. I mean, no one can say y'all didn't put in the fandom work, you know.
And we got all the DVDs and then gave them to a friend so that they could start watching Community. We spread it.
You did the work. You did the job. What you described earlier, this process of getting so into this particular show, and then just the sheer amount of ups and downs and horseshit that came with liking Community just became so much that you needed a break. This is far from the first time that I've heard this story.
Yeah.
The end of season 3 in particular is like a huge fever pitch for the show. Like, it's got this like sort of finale, and then Harmon gets fired right after.
Yeah, and it's these dudes, and they write the Geico commercials or the caveman shit.
Yeah.
And it feels so fucking weird. It's like, it's steadier than it's ever been. The writing is like the most it's ever been, like some bullshit from the 90s. There's just this like total disconnect. And I remember, I'm super aware of like lighting and color in TV shows.
It was getting really weird towards the middle end of the third season.
It was like so like fuzzy. It was like fuzzy and bright. And I was like, this isn't what I associate with the show. It's very clean. Or like we were watching the season 4 episodes, and like Ludwig Göransson's still the composer, but like when you listen to it, it sounds like an AT&T T-Mobile kind of like ad. It's all like bits that he's written and like smushed together, but it doesn't feel like a composed piece. It feels like a bunch of samples on a keyboard. And like the composing and like the direction was always the strong point on Community. Was like, it looked really good, it sounded really good, and it was played as real as it could be, as silly as it was.
That's why so many of the directors are like now making $1 trillion movies.
Yeah, like people were like, oh, these are good directors, we should give them money to do stuff. And I think that was like the great skill of Dan Harmon, was that he was a person who seems like he sucks at relationships professionally. He can't have like, he doesn't connect well with women, but he connects well with every type of guy who thinks that he can be like, who's like really special at something, you know? These like guys who are like, I'm an artist, I'm, you know, I'm interesting, and my love of like the same basic pop culture like milestones like Die Hard or, you know, RoboCop, that is special about me and not something that is pretty much global. Like everyone likes these because they're good. You're not special for liking this. Thank you for making the Fast and Furious movies. Like, it's not, but those guys, like, that's why he had friendships with, you know, all these like dudes we love like Jack Black, and we love, We love all the Channel
Sarah
101
Silverman.
guys and Sarah Silverman. It's like, but as you get like older, these like famous 90s Gen Z comedians basically like they aren't as like shitty as like some of the ones who become like right wings Gen Xers, but like they're still, you know, they're still trying so desperately to cling on to this idea that they're above it all and like they're like cool and they're like cooler than you could ever imagine. It's like, well, it was really easy to be cool in the 90s. It's really hard to be cool now. Like there are people around you all the time and there's a lot more pressure, and they're like realizing how hard it is to be cool in 2020 now that there's like cool young people like 14-year-olds who can sing better than you've ever sang and are funnier than you've ever been, and you're just like, what the hell? Or like me, we're like 28 and it's just like, you know, so many people we know have like done like these huge things. Like I have a friend who's like a fashion designer, and you know, we have friends who like do acting out in LA, and like I know you're an actor but like I make beadwork like like so, and you just like there's this like pressure to try and be like the next interesting thing. And I feel like Community was playing a lot with archetypes and tropes, and I do astrology and like beadwork stuff, and that's also like astrology is all about archetypes. And so I just like noticed like how much things have been like made into a character. Like you want to be like a Britta, or you want to be an Annie, you know, don't be too much of a Shirley because then you're no fun. And like that was kind of my introduction to the community board, is I was making these very like intense, convoluted family tree charts trying to explain how each character was like a member of a family. Like Shirley's the mom, but like Jeff is the dad. And like Britta's the older sister who runs off, where Annie is like the golden child. You know? This very like crazy thing, and like everyone's like, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but like maybe this is a bit much.
Any concluding thoughts or hot takes from either of you, and then we can segue into plugs. But anything, if you never get to talk about Community publicly again, is there anything you would like to lay down on the board?
I think a reunion movie is not going to be as effective of an ending as season 6 is.
I think I agree. You know, if they make that movie, will I watch it? Of course. I've seen this go bad too many times. I've seen Arrested Development season 4. I thought season 3 was pretty good, you know? Like
even the Veronica Mars movie, which was like good. It's like sure, but it doesn't
like we're in a different place.
Like tacked on in a way.
Like what made every show good is where you were when you first watched that show. Like you're in a different place when you watch the like tacked on season or the new movie. You're like, oh, who I was when I was, 15 is different than who I am now. I guess like my hot take is Britta really was the worst character. Like she was based off of so many stereotypes about what that type of person was. And once they started like flanderizing her, it was just like, oh, we're just never gonna have anything kind of heavier in this show. Like she started out so cool. I guess also like Shirley was not that bad. She was a good character and she deserved better.
Completely screwed over.
I like, oh my god, just rewatching episodes and how many times they like put like, Andre back with her and took her away, and like everything was like all of her ambitions were wrong, and like she was cruel, like it was wrong for her to have them and to want more, and it's just this is unfair. And like she got such a Skylar treatment by the fans, and that was a bummer, because Skylar's not a bad character either. People just don't like women who are older and also not who have like their own problems. Like she was very, and like it did make sense for her to be in that group, because I feel like she would have been way more focused than them on this shit.
Also, Megan Gans is absolutely the superhero of the entire show.
Oh yeah, every good episode is Megan. Every really good episode.
just an unbelievable list of credits. Her like writing credits throughout the show, and then now she runs the Rob McElhaney verse. You know, now she is doing phenomenally well. So good for Megan Gans. I think she's doing okay. All right, fantastic. So any plugs that y'all want to put on the board before we say goodbye?
Check out my Instagram. It's mostly got my beadwork. It's at Earl of Ariel, no underscores, just one word. I'm gonna have a website up pretty soon, but there's no real solid date.
Get linked on Insta.
It'll get linked on Insta when it's up.
Perfect. So thank you both for joining me. This has been a very interesting conversation.
This has been a Talkback Podcast.
That was quite a show. Very entertaining.
Please tell your friends about this show.
Boopy doopy doop boop sex.
Larry, I'm on DuckTales.